Boom! Here we
Who
are.
knows?
Dagdagiel. We're back again. Woot woot. And yes, so welcome once again to the fair city. Well, actually not really, because you're miles away from the fair city of Dagdagiel. It's not really all that fair either. It's kind of gloomy and dark and depressing, actually. But you know, you're a little way away at your little base, Dagdagiel, and you want to tell me what's been going on? Vespera, seeing as you usually have so much to say, why are you so silent now?
Because I'm loading up 2 character sheets.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's important.
You didn't have them loaded up already?
No.
Well,
Okay, so we were originally in the main room. We had confronted a halfling or something.
in a cage.
He turned into a bigger fiend, a big giant ape. And we promptly slaughtered him.
Okay. Barry, I'm just going to put you on the old mute for a few minutes.
That was so loud.
Unless you want to talk.
And then we went outside because we were considering trying to find a way to get a short rest, and we were confronted by the hardest boss we've come across so far. And it wasn't even a boss; it was just a dude, a centaur guy, who
demon centaur.
pretty much wiped everyone out except for their wonderful healer. And yeah, we almost lost Ferald if it wasn't for a wonderful member of the public. And then we fought what was it? It was a couple more fiends or something when we tried to go up a tower.
There was the wizards.
The wizards were after that.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The bow in the closet. Or
Yeah.
No, it was bow and something else. And a closet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tubaba? I don't know. And then we fought an apprentice-looking wizard, and then we killed a non-apprentice wizard.
One of Russell's hegemon wizards.
Yeah.
Or hegemon.
Yeah.
So after killing that guy, by the way, in between we leveled up, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Again, thank you to a member of the public.
And then there's a stone golem, and we thought he was going to attack us, but he's just a sweetheart.
It's a sweetheart.
He's only protecting something, and aren't we all protective in our own ways?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, so thusly, at this point, are you still just outside the golem chamber, or what?
We went and had a long rest.
Okay, so you went back to the main chambers and had a long rest? Okay.
Yep.
Now, I know that...
Also searched the bodies of the wizards.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right, well, searching the bodies of the wizards, have I given you details on that, or were you expecting details on that?
You mentioned a couple of items, but you haven't given us the full details.
Okay. And do you have a list of those items? I know that you have a box that is glowing with multiple types of magic colors, auras, if you like.
Yep.
Is that one of them? Yeah.
There was the box, the staff, some rings, some amulets, some potions, bits and pieces.
Right. Okay. So I take it Feralt is going to start by identifying some of that stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, the box, you haven't opened the box at this point, have you?
I don't think I've tried. Basically, I'm leaving the box for later.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure it's warded.
Right. Okay. Most of the stuff that you find is keyed to the Dagdagiel in a way that is unable to be accessible to you.
Yep.
Certainly presently. You do find, however, a wand of magic detection.
Okay.
A wand of magic missiles. 3 greater potions of healing,
Okay.
a potion of invisibility,
Okay.
and a potion of spider climb.
Okay. So who wants what? Basically, I've got a scroll of spider climb, and that's on my spell list. So I feel like the potion of spider climb should go to someone else. Maybe Barry or
Would you like to see the Goliath climbing a wall like a spider?
I don't know.
Yes.
yes, I would.
Yes,
don't
me
know if I wanna see
too.
that.
Spider Goliath.
Spider Goliath.
Spider
Goliath.
So
Spider Goliath.
so Jojo, if you're running his sheet, if you're running his character, why don't you put it on his sheet?
Does whatever
Nah.
Goliath does.
I think
Okay,
Rokan
you-
would be better because obviously he can like climb the wall and then start just
Shooting stuff.
shooting stuff. So I think
Yeah,
actually,
basically that was
yeah.
my logic too, and it's like, so basically Rokan having some sort of movement ability, I like, in his pocket if needed, I think is a good one for us.
What do you
Yeah,
think,
I agree.
Rokan? You...
You all, he's on mute.
Me think on it, and me think, yeah, might be good idea. Might be good idea.
Might be an amazing idea. It'd be so much fun.
Right. You will also have picked up another pile of spell components that,
Okay, yeah.
again, just reinforce the spells that are in the spell books that you have already obtained. Now,
Yeah.
here is a note I want to throw in here, and I know we talked about this in Sunfall, but we haven't talked about it here, and that is the notion that spell books can essentially be used, at least I'm trying this out, and we'll see how it goes, as scrolls. You can tear pages out of a spell book and use it as a scroll. Still, all the
Okay.
normal stuff applies as
Yep,
normal
yep, yep.
scrolls do, but
Yep.
it does provide you with a whole stack of instant spells that don't require components.
Okay, that's pretty cool, and I would love to look at that. I feel like that's something that we can, I can go through and work out what ones I turn into scrolls through the week, though.
Sure thing. The other aspect of that is that I will also allow you to, if you wanted to, basically try and destroy the spell book at one time, and cast all the spells at once, creating some kind of very powerful, wild effect, which will be very chaotic and you will have no control over what the ultimate outcome of that is,
Okay.
but it will probably
So
be some-
basically, it's like a wild magic bomb.
Yeah, and it will depend on which spells are in the book that are being destroyed at one time, but
Okay.
yeah.
In which case, I could maybe bundle together spell scrolls and find a way of detonating them to get a specific effect.
You could try. There'd still be a lot of chaos involved, though.
But it's like if I wanted to say,
there's no formula.
like, yeah, it's so basically like, and the thing is, I imagined, spells that have specific material requirements, such as like the demon summoning spells require fresh blood from someone
Right.
recently killed.
Right. Some of them will
so
fail outright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is I think several of those wizards had chromatic orb on their spell list. The material component for chromatic orb is a diamond worth 50 gold.
No problem.
So basically, any wizard that has it on that, we know they have at least a diamond like that. So, just a point to note. You also mentioned a ring of protection and another ring of spell storing.
Yeah, I think so.
What was the thing you were going to give Drazan?
I wanted to give him the ring of spell storing I have, and then take the new one because the one that I have has mirror image in it, which is
Okay.
a really good spell for a tank to be able to use.
I'll have to try and remember that, as I don't know if I can put a note on here.
You can if you just edit, and then we can decide. We can talk to Drazan, just ask him what sort of spell effects he'd like to have. Like, he might just want to have some healing spells in there that he can
He's
pop
right
off if he
here
needs
you
them.
wish to speak to him.
Right. But yeah, I figure just like bookkeeping first.
Okay. All right. So you are taking a long rest. You've identified a bunch of magic stuff. That's what Feralt's been doing during this long rest, during his downtime at least. Vespera, do you have anything you want to do during the long rest during your downtime? Your free time, should we say?
Probably.
And to be fair, right now you don't believe that you're under any kind of attack or anything, and doesn't seem to be any pressure to do anything. So you can take you can take 3 long rests.
Right. I think I will just have Vespera, like, while Feralt's looking through the wizard stuff, also looking through the components.
Yeah.
As I might require some.
Fair enough. Okay.
Like those 300 gold worth of diamonds.
Right, so now at this point then, given that you've told me where you are, I'm just going to move your tokens all over to the other building. I'm going to take some of the dead bodies away off the map. We won't share the map right now because it's probably not necessary. Theo, I assume, is still not out at this point. You don't need Theo, so
Not yet.
I'll just put Theo on the wall right now, just to say that's just to make her easy to pull out if we need her.
Yep. Works for me.
Right. Okie
Do we
dokie.
figure out what the staff was?
What the what? The staff. The staff is one of the items keyed to the Barakyle envoy.
Ah. Another thing we need to yeet.
Well, Feralt wants to study that at a later stage.
Okay.
So we've also, out of game, had a couple of conversations about how you want to divide up the actual fortress. Do you want to talk about that at this point, or talk about it in character? Maybe might be cool.
I think we'll probably talk about it in character, right?
All right. So
Once we get up.
all right. So you've taken your long rest. You've all got all your spell slots and hit points back, etc. Feralt's done his identifications. Hagelaz, did you have anything that you wanted to do during the long rest, or?
No, I think Hagelaz would have just been in a corner somewhere, not meditating, but
Thinking.
thinking. With thinking is the loosest term possible.
Brooding.
Brooding. I'm brooding.
Barbarians brood. Wizards think. All right. And Rokan, what were you doing during this long rest?
I was resting.
You were resting. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Me rest.
And probably eating.
If I can find, enough stuff to eat.
Right. Well, I mean, let's make an investigation check for Rokan, given that he's, perpetually hungry.
He's an outlander, right?
I would have to check, but probably.
Is that him?
Let me have a quick look.
Jojo, you've got his sheet up, right?
Rokan, his background.
What was the question?
Is he an outlander?
What's his background?
Rokan's background.
Yeah, he's an outlander. Yeah.
Well, hunt for food. Because you can. You could anyway,
you could
but
go hunting if you wanted to, and there are probably creatures inside the fortress walls that you could hunt for. That might be, somewhat edible. Certainly, sort of some scrubland type hares or other small game. There's no big animals around where you are presently that you've seen, at least.
Okay.
Rokan, you would be aware that this types of terrain, because this type of terrain exists on the other side of the rift as well. There would be out there. You're likely to find things like hyenas and large cats and those types of animals too. But you'd have to go really looking for them if you wanted to find that sort of thing.
No, I'll stick with the cheese.
Stick with the cheese. All right, fair enough. Did you want
A
to?
bit mouldy, but I'm an orc. It's different for me.
that's not cheese, Rokan, but enjoy it. I pat him on the back.
Certainly,
Well, I mean, they're the same color, I guess.
certainly, Rokan, you will find a collection of leftovers that the ogres have left behind, but you're not sure if you want to get into that. They seem to be quite happy eating off or even rotten food from time to time, and sometimes live food. And they prefer live food, actually. And a lot of that live food tends to be kind of sentient, so whether or not Rokan has anything against, eating creatures that are sentient, there's, arms and legs from some villages that were left behind, and stuff like that, hanging up on the wall in one of the storehouses.
No.
It's not cannibalism.
It's not exactly cannibalism.
It's fine.
It's not
I've got my standards.
Got standards.
Oh,
Rokan has standards.
Well,
now.
the Barakyle had some food you mentioned, so he'd
That's true.
probably get into that.
All right. So Rokan, you're having a bit of a munch away. That's all good. So everybody is inside this building right now, yeah? Okay.
yes.
Okay. Cool.
But I'm going to go over to Hagalaz.
Quick question before you do
Oh.
that. Feralt, have you resummoned Stolas?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And what is Stolas doing?
I imagine Stolas would be just sitting on the outside of the building,
Like
just
on
keeping
the roof?
keeping watch, basically.
On the
Yeah,
roof
up
or
on
the
the
front
roof.
door? Okay. The roof.
On the roof, but like on the side facing the front doors on.
Okay. Cool. No problem. Very good. Well, Stolas
I'll just kinda
doesn't give you any reports throughout this long rest and what have you. So it seems like everything's gone pretty quiet. Yeah. Okay. So having had your long rest, you're sitting around in the Megaron chamber. We shall change to the correct map because that would be good, wouldn't it?
So I will say to Hagalaz, hello, friend.
He just looks at you broodingly.
Oh, do you know what it is we're fighting for?
Good evening, Vancouver by night. How are you?
Hey.
And Hayglass will just look at you broodingly again, with a very confused look on his face.
If you stay with us, Hagalaz, then you will be fighting the Barakyle wizards alongside us. We've had a lot of friends and family die because of them.
Me sorry to hear that.
Do you want to stay and fight? You don't have to.
At the word fight, I punch the ground.
Oh. Okay. Don't know what the ground did to you. You don't have to do that.
There was like a broken bit of rubble that it was like a rock or and I pounded it with my fist and crushed it.
Okay.
Right. So we're fighting the Barakyle wizards.
Who they?
They're the ones that were casting spells earlier.
Ooh, magic.
And the fiends, them as well.
They hurt.
Is there anything you want? Is there someone you're fighting? Or
I think I would just point at Rokan.
what?
Well,
You want to fight him?
No, not him. His people.
okay.
Hagalaz,
Fine.
sorry to interrupt you. Can I get a history check from Hagalaz, please?
Certainly you can. That is a 18.
That's fucking surprisingly good. Okay, so
For intelligence, yeah, I'm surprised.
Hagalaz, something that is probably quite important that we should run with, or at least consider, is that where you come from, many of the Goliath tribes have been afflicted with this nasty stuff called Skagen blood, which you've heard of, and it's been rife among your people, and it causes You've heard of the Skagen blood prophet in the far north, who is one of the few individuals who has not actually just died from addiction to the substance. The only thing these Barakyle wizards are somewhat a little bit familiar in the sense that you've got the feeling that they're connected to the Skagen blood trade. So there is a kind of a connection there, which you might be keeping quiet about right now, maybe for some reason of your own.
Yeah, I think I'll be keeping it to myself.
What
I would
I
also
can
like
make
to.
is-
I would also like to say, Hayglass does not want to fight Rokan. He particularly only likes Rokan at the moment, so Rokan is changing his perception on orcs.
Well, Hagelas is changing Rokan is changing Hagelas's perception on orcs.
perception.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
If I can make a suggestion, given Hagelaz's -1 intelligence, it might just not occur to him that what he knows about the Barakyle possibly being connected to Skargan blood has any relevance to us.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
could also be true, yeah.
I can see that happening. Yeah.
So what you know about orc?
Can I make another history check about the orcs and
Yes, you can, yeah, for
the
sure.
Goliath people?
Please do.
This time I know nothing.
Let's see where our... Yes, a good old 7. What do you know about orcs? Well, I mean, orcs, as far as you're concerned, are,
Green, big.
actually different tribes of orcs can be different colours. And yeah, they're
No,
big.
they're cake.
They're not as big as your people, Goliath. They're still mighty and fearsome. But they are known to send bandit raiding parties into your lands from time to time, and they're one of your people's ancestral enemies for the last 1,000 years or so. So, on and off. That being said, yeah, I mean, you got a 7, so that's pretty much it. They're the enemy, as far as you're concerned. Typically.
Typically. I know they enemy. They invade my land.
Oh, you got land, huh? We got no land. We got desert.
Desert land.
But desert not good land to live in.
Desert not sea.
Desert not grow much either.
He has a point.
All right.
Can't do much with that.
I'm just like looking at them like, are they going to fight? What is happening
So
here?
Feralt's just looking at this and he's just like, screw the internal monologue, screw this, I'm out, and just shares senses with Stola so he doesn't have to listen to the brain trust here.
All right, so you're sharing senses with Stolas. Excellent. Okay. So you guys are all just gonna hang out in here for a while.
I think I'll take a look around the room.
Yeah.
See where I can put a gigantic tree one day.
Well, you certainly would need some earth to do that, so you'd have to break up the ground in here to do that. And you don't know what's there. There might be quite deep foundations, but maybe Vespera might not realize that because she's not an architect. Feralt probably has the best chance of working that out, given that you don't have any dwarves among you. So yeah, you're looking for where you can put a tree. You figure you could put a tree right in the middle of this room, but you're going to have to break up the ground, and you could feasibly bring earth in here, and I know that you can cast spells to make that earth fertile too, can you?
Yes.
So you could drag in a bunch of earth in buckets or wagons or something, and dig a space, smash up the stonework on the floor, pour all the earth in there, and then you could probably grow a tree.
Okay.
Depending on how deep the roots need to go and what have you, so there's some complexity to that, but still, there's a theory.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, Vespera's
if I
just
can make a
looking around,
yeah.
looking for where she can put plants, because, yeah, because she would like a massive tree in here.
Right.
This is just like,
Essentially, you would have a massive pot plant.
hmm.
Excuse me.
Okay. So, if I can make a suggestion just out of character about how we might achieve this, Frult has several acid damage spells, and Wizard level 3 lets you switch out one of your wizard cantrips on a long rest. So he can switch out a cantrip for acid splash and basically just try and like acid away the stone on the floor rather than breaking it up. It'll probably take a while, but it's probably also faster than trying to break solid rock.
And you could probably create more aesthetic effects with it too.
Yeah, like we could actually... He's an alchemist. He would know how to put coatings on to resist, so it only ate through where we wanted.
Right. All right.
Cool. Okay. The spirit will end up, after a little while of looking around, turning to everyone and asking, do you all mind if this place is overrun with beautiful plants, etc.? I'll have to spend a bit of time on it, but if you give me most of the day, then I can make a lot of this land fertile, so we can grow farms and everything.
Drazan looks across at you. Seems to be a good idea if you can do it.
I definitely can.
We could send our own envoys to some of the neighboring villages and see if we can convert them to our cause. We could get them to swear allegiance to us, or we can swear allegiance to them also, in the sense that we will be their protectors.
I think that works.
The trouble, I feel, is that the recent activities of the Barakyle envoy has caused many of these locals and other communities about this region to they tend to have a good reputation among these peasant folk and other farming communities, having given them things that seem to have bought their loyalty one way or another. We need to convince them that the Barakyle are the enemy.
I'm sure we can manage that.
I also feel
persuasive
strongly
enough.
that at some point we need to send someone, or we need to go ourselves, back to the city. We need to seek allies there. I know that some of the houses in the assembly of princes will support us if we can identify whom among them is on our side. There is the concern that some of them may be simply spying for the Barakyle envoy and may already be under their control. It's difficult to know, but I am sure that there will be allies in the city. I know that many of my own men would willingly come to us if they knew where I was and so forth. Of course, they have families and there are weak links there as well, so we must be careful how we approach these things. We cannot just recruit willy-nilly. We'll find ourselves betrayed too easily.
I agree. I also think we should go back and try and find Balin.
Yes, I am concerned for Balin.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has been taken by the Barakyle wizards and used as a pawn against us.
If we do return to Dagdagiel, the Barakyle envoy, they do not have jurisdiction there. They cannot just assassinate us in the street. But they will try, somehow, if they know that we're there and who we are. May I ask this, you companions, do we know how they have tracked us here? We traveled through the forest, we killed the ones that were following us, we made it here to this fortress, Dagdagiel. We cleared the fortress of enemies, ogres, not connected in any way, as far as I am aware, to the Barakyle envoy. We rescued the hostages that were kept here and sent them and took them, guarded them, escorted them back to their town. And when we returned, these wizards were here. How did they find us?
Well, the wizards magic.
Yes, okay, yes, well, that is true, of course.
They have the ability to use divination magic,
But you
as
too
long
were-
as they knew the people.
Then how do we avoid them doing it again?
Well, I've
If they
been
could find
told
us
that there are these
once-
amulets that could potentially. Oh.
What?
Oh, just felt.
If they found
23
us...
on an Arcana check.
23 on an Arcana check. Fralt, I'm just going to make a suggestion to you for that Arcana check. Just why don't you go through again, look at the list of spells in the spell books that I gave you. There may be clues.
Yeah.
Yes, so we do not wish this to occur again. We need to find a way to keep them at bay. We need to remove ourselves from their recent memories. Any of them that have had dealings with us, we should target first, I feel. But can we even identify them?
Right. Well, I don't think so. We've
What-
met so many. We've killed as many as we can. I don't think any have run off on us.
I know we want to take this fight to them, and as quickly as possible. I see the first thing that we can do is to begin to win the hearts and minds of the people, as my friend here, Feralt, has mentioned before.
Yes.
How should we go about that? We know that they have festivities coming up. They plan some sort of display, I believe, a magical display. In the next few days, they intend to perform this or enact this festival.
Well, when we were there, a lot of the people were getting sick. And I healed one of them. I can heal more. I just can't heal everyone. But perhaps having a figurehead that people can look to could help.
Perhaps you could target individuals that have standing among the community that might need healing or otherwise, so that the word will spread. If you heal the average street urchin, and then do not get me wrong, I do not mean that they do not deserve healing, but you will need... I feel that what we need is to make our presence felt.
Oh, there was also the fact that the Barakyle wanted the water or the reservoir. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the ones that have poisoned the water. Perhaps we could exclaim that we're going to heal the masses, to restore the water to the way it was, and then actually go to the reservoir and take care of whatever's happening there.
That seems reasonable. I think certainly the reservoir requires some investigation, if nothing else. I think it is important that we know what they are planning to do with this reservoir. I mean, why would the Barakyle envoy wish to control the reservoir if not for some nefarious purpose?
Exactly.
Now, speaking of reservoirs, have we secured ourselves fresh water here yet?
Yes, our well has been cleaned,
Excellent.
and the water has been purified.
Well done, Vespera. I am always most impressed with your abilities.
Thank you.
There are a few casters about the city of Dagdagiel that have not been otherwise corrupted or brought into some order or another, that are prepared to do such civic duties for the sake of good in and of itself. You have a pure heart, Vespera. I admire that. And
I just turn away, like, so embarrassed right now. Like, oh my god, he complimented me.
does she want to make a constitution saving throw not to blush?
I fear that she'll succeed it. This is Jazan. Oh, my bad.
Well, wouldn't he...
He makes himself blush.
No.
Yeah, so I've looked through the list of spells you sent me, and the only one I
See,
can
I
find that
succeeded.
looks relevant is locate creature, but that has a range of 1,000 feet.
Ah. Hmm. That's probably true.
Okay. It's
They
like,
probably have like magic items that could probably do the job better.
well, I mean, I'm sure at least one of those wizards probably had, like, you haven't sent me all the spell books. I'm sure one of those wizards probably had sending, because I can't see them having a group without one person having it.
Right.
So if we assume that's true, they could be communicating with someone else who's doing a longer range divination.
Oh, I would also say actually that the
Sure.
Hegemon that you recently killed will have one sending stone on him.
Okay.
Oh, and that orb?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the orbs can be tracked. But I don't know. We keep smashing them.
I think another thing that Hayglass would have done during this long rest is also clean out all the bodies that are in here, because we've still got a lot of
Right.
dead things in here. So
Makes sense.
Actually, I don't think we do. The three corpses ended up in Frill's bag. The rest of the dead things were fiends, and they dissolve into acid.
I
Correct.
think he meant from leftover from the ogres.
Oh.
yeah, I think I'm just talking about what's on the Roll20 map and cleaning it off, because it's
Oh.
still got bodies everywhere.
Right. Do I need
Yeah,
to do that, or do you have permission to do that? I can't remember.
Only you can.
Okay. All right, I'll
That's
do
fine.
that in
Yeah,
a
that-
second then. I'll clean up the map. You feel free to share the map with the audience if you want. They might like to see what you're dealing with.
So do we have Farrell, do we have any parchment or anything? I just thought maybe it would be a wise idea to note down everything and try and get our collective thoughts together. So we know what we're doing, in what order. You know, little notes. Maybe we could tie them together with string.
Hey, Rokan,
Murderboard.
one of your skills, Rokan. You know how you hunt and skin and trap and all that stuff. Well, parchment is generally made from like light animal skins, actually. So you could feasibly make parchment. It's certainly that tends to be the medium that the Orcan tribes use for communicating. If they write at all, it will be on parchment, or some sort of skin like that. So if you want, you could make some.
Furl is just going to find a nice flat rock and basically just touch it, and he can make up to 25, as long as it's less than 25 words of text, he can put it all on one object.
You're writing everything onto a rock.
We don't have a lot of parchment, it seems like, and out of game, he's not writing it as, he's making it appear on the rock with magic.
Right. So it's just appearing there.
It's like, well, it seems to me we have limited resources. I figured we should gather our thoughts together before writing it down on something, using a resource we don't know of when we can replace.
Right.
Very well.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts? What do you want to... What
Okay, right.
brainstorming?
So what do we need to concentrate on? Like, I feel Balin is quite a priority,
I'm quite concerned about him.
which means that we have to go to Dagdagiel. Should that be the first thing, or should we go find farmers and villages? I suppose we should do everything we need to in Dagdagiel first.
I feel like our first priority should be at least making a start on some means of providing ourselves food. Do we know if we have any seeds we can plant? Maybe start some crops growing before we leave them?
I don't believe I have
you're a
any
druid.
seeds.
You're a druid, don't you have seeds? I feel like a druid should have seeds.
Otherwise, you're going to be living on good berries for the rest of your lives.
Just because I'm a druid doesn't mean I have seeds on me. Sadly, I do not have seeds on me. However, I can find them. I am a herb. I know herbology. I know how to be a herbalist. so I can find them.
I feel like in that case we should perhaps make a plan for an expedition back to the city and stock up on supplies, tools and whatnot that we'll need out here.
Hey, Graham, welcome.
All right,
Hey, my
Ayo.
savior.
Our liveler.
Oh.
Mm.
You should give him a little heart.
How do we do that?
There you go.
I can't do that one because
I can do that one.
So, yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Well,
Okay.
I can do
Don't-
that one.
Don't get too distracted.
This is very
I know,
distracting.
Graham is very distracting. He's very important to us, and we do love him. But we're here to roleplay, so stay
Right.
on target. I'm not your god or savior. I'm your supervisor. He said.
You're not my supervisor.
You're not my
Supervisor.
mom. You're not my
Supervisor
mom
to
anyway.
aisle 8. Supervisor to aisle 8.
Right. Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I was quoting Cheryl from Archer.
should we? So before I actually make the land flourish, how about we go to Dagdagiel, and then when we come back, hopefully with one Balin.
Feralt, you're not sharing senses still, or are you?
I would have stopped. I can't take part in the conversation and share senses with Stolas, so it's like
Can you make
I
a
would.
perception check a vision perception check for Stolas for me, please?
Okay, so I'm just gonna. So yeah, Stolas's perception is +3, so I'm just gonna add. So he gets advantage. I'm gonna add 2 to the roll. So that's a 14.
14. Stolas swoops back down into the chamber that you're in while you're having this conversation.
Mhm.
Puts an image in your mind. The images of the sky above, a couple of miles away from Dagdagiel. Something flying in the distance. He doesn't know what it is.
What direction does it look like it's going in?
Seems to be moving from south to north.
Okay, so it's kind of like cutting past us, basically.
Yeah.
Well, Stolas's vision is way better than mine, because like Stolas gets 120-foot dark vision for a start.
Right.
I'm going to ask him to go and try and get a little bit closer, but without putting himself in danger.
Okay. Stolas flies.
Just
back
get a
off
closer
again.
look at, and basically go and have a closer look and report back.
All right. Very good. Stolas flies off.
Okay.
I miss that little bird.
I should look at finding some way of giving him better protection than what. He's so fragile.
So fragile, yes.
When you look at bodies, you find any maps? You find any letters? Any scrolls of orders? Anything like that?
I found some magical scrolls, but I don't recall anything else.
Can you make a retrospective investigation check for me, Avery?
Yep.
They weren't magical,
Well,
they
that's
weren't
a-
interesting.
There,
9.
that's a 9.
No, you just found blank parchment.
Okay. Oh well. More parchment.
You know, way you write letter, you write word, and they make it so you can't see word. Have a look on parchment, see if there's words on parchment that cannot see.
Alright then, let me give it a try. So, I take out the parchment that I found on the barrack aisle,
Uh-huh.
and actually, let me just double check one thing. Hang on. Double checking the and I am going to, holding one of the parchments, I am going to cast Detect Magic.
All right. This is just one of the blank pages?
One of the blank pages that I found on the wizards.
All right. Remarkably, it seems to have some magic effect placed upon it. It's emanating very gentle magic, nothing especially powerful, but yet easily missed if you were looking amongst a bunch of other stuff all in the same vicinity. But now that you've checked it, yeah, you can see there is some magic placed on this particular piece of blank parchment.
Okay. Okay. I'm guessing I can do an Arcana check to see if I can figure out a way of reading it.
You are muted.
Bonus action to unmute.
Yes, they're just checking the mechanics on this. So give me a second. So you're doing that. While he's doing that, what's everybody doing? Are you doing this as a ritual spell, by the way, or using a spell slot?
Yeah, I just used a spell slot.
Okay.
What's the name of the soldier guy with us again?
Drazan.
Drazan?
Drazan.
Yes, sir.
You know City well?
Yes, sir, I know it well.
Okay. Where does water come from before it reaches city?
So, the water in the city of Dagdagiel, largely it comes from one of two reservoirs hidden in the mountains behind the city, up above. You know that when you're standing at the back of the city, beyond the palace, you'll see these great statues carved into the walls, giant, colossal statues. And behind them, there is a waterfall that comes down to the first of the reservoirs, where the water is kept there. Usually it is under guard. They do not allow the public, so to speak, to go near it. It is, of course, a precious resource to us. From there, it is filtered down into the city through the various moats and wells and so forth.
Your men got it?
Not my men, not particularly. Members of the Wyvern Guard, yes, but not I. My duties specifically are civic within the city itself, and only within a district of the city. I mean, I have been called out to other districts from time to time when required, and I do have... They can call upon any of us to be brought together as some sort of defending force of the city if that's required too. We can easily be conscripted. We will be the first to be conscripted, in fact, if the requirement is needed. Ivory, in answer to your question, do you have true sight?
I do not have true sight.
Okay. You believe that you probably would need that. If there's anything written here using magic, you'd probably need true sight to read it.
Okay, and I'm guessing we haven't come across one of those amulets that gives true sight.
You have not.
Okay. I just basically explained to the others that there is something written on it, but I don't have the ability to read it because I don't know the required magic. There is a spell that I know of that would allow me to read it, but it's rather high level.
Damn.
What about if we go and get the other friend we're going to get? Would he know it?
Balin?
Yes.
I suppose it's possible. I don't know what the limits of his spellcasting are.
Out of game, Avery, can you make a history check too?
Okay. So yeah, that's a 6th level spell, rolling history. That's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay. Actually, in this case, I'm going to give you advantage because, for reasons.
Okay.
for reasons.
That's an 11. The digital dice don't like me at the moment.
They don't. You're having a real hard time the last 2 days.
Are you using the Thimberchild ones? Thimberchild? Thimberchat? I don't know how to say it.
Okay, I'll switch
Are
dice
you?
and see if that. I'm not, but I'll try it if you think that'll help.
With your 11, with your 11 on that last roll, it occurs to you that Matthias Xanathrea, your mentor, might have access to such a spell, but you don't know.
But isn't he dead?
Well, that could be a problem.
It's like I was wondering why you were saying that, and I'm like,
Is he dead?
him being dead is part of my backstory?
Is he actually
like he's been dead for you?
I thought he was missing, but okay.
Oh, okay, well,
Anyway, no, that's
we never actually explicitly said. I mean, Ferlt is pretty damn sure he's dead.
Fair enough. All right. Never mind. I retract
Like,
that.
if
whole
he's been
pile.
alive this whole and the thing is, I said that he was. Talked about him being dead to that other Xanathrea guy, and that Xanathrea guy thought he was dead too.
Right. I clearly just forgot. So never mind. Rewind. Cut and paste. I'll give you inspiration as a token of my apology. There you go.
I won't complain about that.
I didn't think you would.
When we go into city, we need to know if there's any kind of way we can get into the city without going through the main gate.
Drazan?
Oh, you wish to get into the city without going through the main gate. Well, in my opinion,
We could swim through the reservoir.
not easily. We'd have to get to the reservoir. It's high in the mountains, and it's surrounded by sheer cliffs and very difficult terrain. We would have to do a lot of climbing and otherwise to do that without using the official passages and ways.
All right.
As for getting into the city, there are two options that I would suggest. The first is probably the easiest and the best, and that is, given my station among the city guard, I could probably lead us possibly even through the front gate without us being molested. But that being said, it would be better at a time such as, late at night or in the middle of the evening, where there are the least number of witnesses about. We do not wish to be seen by the Barakal envoy if we can avoid it. But they cannot be everywhere at once, surely.
Which gate do your people have control of?
Well, my own contingent has no control of any of the outer gates at all. They are an entirely different contingent of guards than myself. We largely inhabit or otherwise are responsible for some of the inner districts rather than the outer districts and the walls. They are under a different command. However, my second and less favourable option would be to approach through one of the sewer gates. There are ways and means in and out of the city, but I am not sure that I would know precisely how to access them or even how to navigate them. And
If I was Barakyle, I would be watching for you.
of course.
I agree. I believe this is an issue that needs to be addressed. I do not think we should use the way they would expect us to use.
Well, perhaps
They will be watching for us.
would we wish to try and attempt to sneak in under the cover of night in a wagon? Perhaps pretending to be traders. One of us could be, or we could even hire someone to drive the wagon for us. A sort of Trojan horse approach.
I can change my appearance if needed using magic.
Ah, there.
And I could be the horse.
Well, I believe we do have a couple of wagons lying around in this place. We might have to repair them somewhat, but I'm sure it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I can produce carpentry tools if needed.
Most excellent. Suddenly, Stolas flies back into the room again, and he lands down on your shoulder, Stolas, or on your wrist, however you want to.
He usually just goes on my shoulder. I'm gonna say I've got
Padded
I've
shoulder.
modified a bit of my armor so that he's got like a good point where he can attach onto.
It's like a pauldron that he's sort of. Okay.
Well, basically, like, yeah. So it's just something that's comfortable for him to grip onto, because he's my friend.
Yeah. All right. So Stolas comes down, he lands on your shoulder, and he puts another image in your head. And this image, in this image, you get the sense of how Stolas felt as well, which includes the fact that he's extraordinarily exhausted from flying as fast as he possibly can. And the image basically, you're seeing this creature, this flying creature. It must be big because it's clearly a long way away, and you can compare it only to the size of the brush and scrub and the few broken trees that are laying around in the distance. So it must be fairly big, whatever it is. And for a moment, you see a hint of metal or a metallic sheen off it, or a glint off it. And then
A metallic glint, and it's big.
And then it just goes out of his ability to keep up with it. It's just traveling way faster than he can fly.
Okay. And I just turn to the others and I just say, I think Stolas just saw a dragon.
That's where his eyes grew wide after realizing.
So you said a
hey-
glint of metallic. What sort of color palette did it look like?
Well, tell you what, can you make an investigation check for Stolas, please? You
Well,
have
can I,
advantage
because he showed it to me, can I do the investigation? Based on what he showed me.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna play with the idea that Stolas probably doesn't have color vision, but then he's not really a bird, is he? So I suppose he does have color vision.
He's like, I'm going to say that he's a fey spirit.
Right. And the other aspect is that there are twin suns casting different light.
Okay.
But
No,
I can do investigation at disadvantage.
Jojo, no.
all right, we'll do just investigation at disadvantage works for me.
No.
That was a natural 1 for 7.
Oh, okay. It could be a white. It could be white. It might be just the shininess of the scales
Okay.
that is reflecting the light.
Okay. I turn to Razan. Do you know of any particularly cold areas around here?
Oh, well, how far are we from the freeze band? Out of game?
Well, it was traveling north, so it could have been coming from the freeze band. I don't know. It could be a metallic. I couldn't tell from the image Stolas showed me if it was metallic or a chromatic dragon. And there is a very bit.
The island of Amprodius beyond the sea here, south of us, where the city of fools resides. Much of Amprodius is frozen for much of the year. And beyond that, who knows? There might be other islands completely frozen in the freeze band.
I see. So it could very well be a white dragon traveling north, in which case I'm quite certain we do not want any part of it. But if it's a metallic dragon, metallic dragons are known for their sense of justice.
Ally.
Oh well, I'm sure. Anyway, it's traveling too fast. I don't see any way we could get his attention either way.
Can you make me one more investigation check?
Okay.
This is
Just
for
regular
you.
flat or disadvantage.
This is a regular investigation check this time.
That is a 22.
The one thing that you're certain of is that it's heading pretty much bang on in the direction of the city of Dagdagiel.
And then I just, so then I just, I'm gonna say that I just twig. I think the dragon is heading towards Dagdagiel. I believe we should perhaps
Go rescue it.
make haste. I don't
Yes.
know. I cannot. A dragon heading to the Dagdagiel. So would Feralt know that dragons can polymorph themselves?
Feralt would need to make a nature check, probably at disadvantage, because I don't think Feralt's met a dragon.
I think while
He hasn't, but it's like he's studied under a wizard, though.
Noting that most dragons can't polymorph themselves.
Okay. So nature at disadvantage. Let's see what I get. That's a natural 1.
Yeah, yeah, all dragons can polymorph themselves. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just say to them, it's traveling to the city. It might be wanting to it might be planning to polymorph itself when it gets closer. It could disguise itself as a human.
Well,
which
I
case,
hope so, because that
or a
way they'll
humanoid,
be
or humanoid. Sorry, not human. Humanoid.
they'll be safer, right?
Uh, well, I'm thinking if there's a humanoid metallic dragon in the city, that could be a potential ally for us.
Well, yes, me too. I'm gonna
If
go
we
over
bet
to the I'm gonna go over to the well, shape water some water into a little popsicle and freeze it. And then I'm just going to come over. Oh, I'm also gonna change the color to an orange. And then
Okay.
I'm just gonna start eating it while you're talking.
Okay.
So seeing what you've done, I'm gonna pull out some fruit syrup and just kind of drizzle that on there.
I will continue.
But I'm assuming that the fruit flavor is not orange. It's going to be like
Good berry flavor.
good berry.
I
Good berry
mean,
ice cream sounds quite good, actually.
well, I mean, I heard a joke about like someone making a good berry buffet and then just like having one of the appetizers be good berry jam, so people are too full to eat anything else and save on food costs.
Right.
Hey, that's an idea.
Of course, they haven't met Rokan.
Right.
Yeah.
Endless. I don't know whether Hagelaz's appetite is as large as Rokan's. I mean, he's physically bigger than Rokan, but Rokan might just be more hungry.
I feel like Rokan has a crazy metabolism.
And to be fair, as a Goliath, Goliath are all about discipline. So
Yeah, discipline, and my survival's pretty good. So like, I'm good at like living off,
yeah,
and then living long gaps without doing
right.
eating. So
Eating very Spartan kind of style food, very simple and
Yeah.
low calories.
yeah.
Or
So are we gonna get going,
Yes.
or
Go on.
are we all ready to leave? We'll
I
get that.
believe we need to repair a wagon first.
Right, let's go do that then.
All right. So you spend some time repairing a wagon, yes?
Well,
Yes.
Jazan is a woodworker,
Yeah.
so he knows
And
how to
Ferl-
work his wood.
Mm-hmm.
and
Drazan the carpenter.
Ferlt does have mending.
So Drazan takes off his armor and gets his shirt off and goes outside and starts soaring. and
we just
hammering and
watch
soaring.
we just watch Vesper like staring at Drazan all day while he's doing this hammering and
He's-
watching all the muscles and sweat.
his muscles and sweat as he
Works hard,
Yes, indeed.
and while the Goliath's also lifting up the
He has a certain messianic aspect to him with his long hair and his carpentry. Some of you might get that. But yeah, anyway.
And I just keep licking my lollipop.
Keep licking the
Well, my ice block.
Uh-huh. Okay. Moving right along.
Yeah, so basically, and I'm basically just Ferlt's not paying any attention to that, just focusing on trying to help get the wagon repaired. Like if it's stuff where it's just straight up damaged, if he can mending it back together, he is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not going to make you do any rolls. I think it's perfectly reasonable if you spend a couple of hours on it. You can get this wagon up and running.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of choices of wagon. Bigger ones, smaller ones, ones with higher edge sides and what have you. You could probably even do a little bit of retrofitting and bastardization of parts if you want to. So I'm going to let you tell us what this wagon looks like. I'm
I'm kind of imagining we are bastardizing it, just like stripping down different wagons and rebuilding them together just because they're also busted.
Yeah.
So I don't have a particular view on what it looks like.
Well, I certainly would like to know any details about it that you might want to include.
It has an area that we can hide in.
Right.
So are we talking about like a covered wagon?
Up to you.
I'm asking Charlie.
The
Do
rest
we?
of, yeah.
Yeah, most likely. Or
Okay.
it looks like we have a whole bunch of wares, but there's room inside. Something
Okay.
like that.
I think in this case, a covered wagon would be the best option, and we can basically, you know,
I will
between
say,
mending and whatnot.
I will say one thing is the more reputable we appear as we reach the gates as traders or those that we're selling wares that are worthwhile to the city. We don't want to arrive at the gate with rotten vegetables or hay. They will search for sure. They will search that.
We sell
I
good
see.
berries. And I look at Vesperia and go, "We sell your good berries."
I believe that will attract attention. Perhaps we could stop by one of the farming communities and purchase some items from them.
I should also say that whilst I do have papers that would allow us passage and they will almost certainly let us through, it may be better not to use them if we don't have to.
Well, do we have any
agree.
extra like weaponry? I
Me?
know we've found a lot of, there's lots of like whole rooms in this place that are just full of random nonsense.
there's a
There might
bucket.
be weapons that we could take and try and sell.
So, out of game, most of the stuff that you've found here is going to be either very old and busted, or it will be stuff that the ogres will have collected.
Okay.
So there's a few things. There's definitely a few things, but a lot of that stuff I'm assuming you piled up and sent back with the farming community people that you sent back to their town recently. Because some of it.
I mean, yeah, but like there would have been I'm imagining there would have been more than a wagon load and they only had the one wagon with them, and they would have had people in the wagon as well.
True. Yeah.
So there's a pretty strict upper limit on what they could actually take back with them.
You know what? I've got.
And that was just like
idea.
what we could gather up quickly. Stuff that we can tidy up and prepare given more time
Can somebody
and
roll
more
me,
space.
Can somebody roll me 5d10?
Do you want to do that, Ferald? Avery.
Sure.
What if...
No, with his dice roll, I wouldn't trust him to roll them. 24.
Yeah.
Nope.
Don't get me to roll it. Somebody else roll it.
Okay.
That's 24.
24. There is 240 gold pieces worth of weapons and armor lying around. It's all very normal stuff. It doesn't really matter what it is. You can choose.
Okay.
Not going to be particularly exotic though, but it's all, average quality stuff straight out of the player's handbook, basically.
Yes, maybe this will get us in, or perhaps maybe there's someone. Maybe we could have, if we could forge some sort of papers, we could say that we're bringing in a noble person or whatever, and then have an entourage. Or I could just shut up.
Drazan looks
walk
at
away.
you. Fucking moths in here today. I don't know why. Drazan looks at you and he kind of nods, actually. That's not a terrible idea, Vespera.
Thank you.
If we can pass as nobility, that would grease the wheels, so to speak. But there is the downside. They will probably take record of whom, and they will want to know where we're staying or where we're going.
Right.
And they'll make note of it. And that in and of itself is not the problem so much as whether or not the guard captains have been corrupted.
Oh. Do you know where we could go that is not corrupted?
I am no longer sure of that. I thought I was, but things have changed clearly. I fear that the city is in grave danger now. I feel that the assembly of princes have been undermined. And And I'll be honest with you, the Assembly of Princes were never that uncorrupt to begin with, but now the question is whom it is that is corrupting them may well be consolidating their corruption.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you're no longer working for the city, because now you could do better things to help the city that you love.
Well, I do still officially work for the city, to be honest with you. I have not renounced my allegiances, and as I am not dead, I still have an oath that I have taken. I expect that if I were to return immediately, at least, I would retain my position. However, I would immediately be a target. Immediately.
What if... Now, I remember there being a noble woman that we have already met. Well, not met. Maybe just seen. She was from Saxalim, the place where they have amazingly hot food. It's delicious. There's a noble woman that used to visit the Rumbling Pig.
Ah, you would not be speaking of Nisha Mahadur.
I think so. I don't know. I'd have to see her face.
It does seem familiar. Your description does seem to match so far. Unless there was another, I cannot be certain, of course.
I mean, we could pretend if we had the ability. I don't know where to begin with that. I can't forge things, but.
Can I just do an intelligence check to see if I remember the noblewoman's name?
Yes.
That's a 14?
Yeah, you think it is indeed Nisha Mahadur.
Okay, cool.
Could...
Also, out of game, I can produce artisan tools. Forgery kit is a tool, but it's not an artisan tool. So I can't make a forgery kit.
Oh.
I'm going to put the name of that lady into the Twitch chat so that not only can you see it, but so can our lovely viewers. There you go, Nisha Mahadur.
But she's someone that we could pretend to be if we were capable of getting that information. And seeing as you still work for the city, Drazan, you could potentially be as a chaperone.
I see, yes, that is possible. Yes.
And I know, Feral, you can turn into other people.
That's correct, I can, but unfortunately, I'm not an actor, and the spell doesn't change my voice.
Can you make a history check for Drazan, please?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Ooh, 15.
15. I seem to recall that House Mahadur recently fell upon hard times. Her husband was died under mysterious circumstances. I believe that the House of Skalderon was mentioned at the time, but no one has any proof that that was the connection. But Nisha herself has inherited the house, and she finds herself largely in financial ruin, I understand.
Would that help or not help? That hinder?
It neither helps nor hinders. It is merely an important fact.
Right. Honestly, you don't have to talk. A lot of people, I know this being a woman, a lot of people just expect you to smile and wave.
I understand what you're saying, but I believe that, like, as I said, I'm not a good actor, and I'm worried if they do start asking me questions, this whole thing might fall apart.
Okay.
What about this? What if this ring I'm wearing can store spells? What if I put the spell into the ring and you cast it yourself?
Is the spell like a self-targeting spell? Is that how that works?
Yeah, so basically it's like anyone can cast into the ring, but the person who uses it acts as if they cast it.
You'd have to be attuned to the ring, I think.
Yeah, so you have to be attuned to the ring, but we got plenty of time for her to attune.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually,
I
can somebody break an intelligence check for Rokan too, please?
That would be me because I have control of his character. Intelligence. That is going to be a
Drum roll, please.
2.
A 2. Right. Okay. Well, Rokan, that meat was a bit stringy.
That's because you ate a ball of string.
That wasn't meat at all. It was a ball of string. No. And where is Stolas now? Is he still with you on your shoulder?
I would have let him rest a bit, then send him outside again.
Okay.
Well, it's Thing is, I can get in there as I can turn into an animal, so that's not particularly a problem.
I understand,
But-
but if we're wanting to impersonate a noblewoman, you're the only woman here.
Okay, yes, I see your point.
Unless we want to impersonate someone else, perhaps maybe someone from House Kaelrin.
You did spend some time working with House Kaelrin, did you not?
We did.
Aye.
And do you know some of the members of House Kaelrin? Perhaps the Lord or the Steward?
Well, we know Reagan. Would you like to pretend to be Reagan, Harold? All you have to do is you sound all husky and British. No, out of game.
Well, I mean, out of game, are the people of Dagdagiel as bad at telling Scottish and British accents apart as Americans are?
That's a weird question, and I can't really answer that.
All right. Well,
I think that
out of game, Avery, your character has spent a lot of time in Dagdagiel, right?
Yep.
So you know you have a Dagdagian accent.
A little bit of one.
Sure.
Like I said, I've got like I said before, I've got a Banakayan accent because that's where I'm from. It's just
Right.
I've moved to the city.
Right.
I can try and impersonate it.
Right. So you can make a performance check to do it if you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
I think I would give you advantage too because you have spent time
Okay.
here.
you've got to sound
Okay.
grumpy too. He's always grumpy.
And we've got plenty of time for you to practice.
Which,
Okay.
well,
Reminds
now
me we
that-
should get going.
Yeah, the cart is fixed, so let's hop on
Okay.
that. And do you want me
Okay,
to turn
let's-
into a horse? I can only do it for now. It's kind
you-
of pointless.
You still have a couple of horses too. I think you have 3 Barakyle
We
horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could be selling the horses as well.
Well, we
Not
need to
Chad.
get back, remember?
Not all of them, but the extras.
Out of game also, Rokan, you've been into the city before as a trader yourself. You brought a lot of skins and things to the city.
Furs and stuff, yeah.
And they allowed you in.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll take the swords. Why don't we just go with the whole hiding people thing? We
Yeah,
can.
and I believe that it would be better for me to change myself into somebody more nondescript. If Lord Balin, not Balin, what's his face?
Reagan.
If Lord Reagan comes in on a wagon, they're gonna ask questions about why Lord Reagan is coming in on a wagon. It'd be better if I'm just some nameless trader.
All right, nameless trader. Let's go then.
Aye,
Okay.
let's go.
Yes.
Very
It
well.
took us a long time.
Okay, so you get your wagon together, you've placed all the weapons and armor on the back of the wagon, you've hooked up your horses, or at least 2 of them to the wagon, and you have a 3rd horse. I don't know if you're bringing that with you separately. Are you?
We may as well. We're not going to leave the horses unattended.
Right.
I figure we take all of the horses with us.
Would make sense. How many horses do you have altogether then? Because did you have horses as well yourselves previous to that?
We had horses. I think we need a horse for Hagalaz, but the rest of us would have all had horses when we arrived at the fort.
Right, that's right, you did. So, so Hagalaz, there are 3 horses, but the question is, are any of them big enough for you? I'm going to make a roll to determine the answer to that.
You can drive the cart.
That's a good question. I think.
Well,
one of the horses is just big enough for you to ride on, but it's a bit comical.
Chad is a war horse.
Yeah, the
So is
question is,
Barbatos.
can Chad?
No, just Chad.
Chadwick?
Chad.
He doesn't respond to Chad.
He does respond to Chad.
You're talking
he's
to the dungeon master.
Because the thing is, though, he's responded to Chad in the past because that's what she's called him, and he's responded and did stuff.
Well,
so
he's changed
Chad.
his mind.
Chadwick Horseman.
Spoken like a true Chad.
Spoken like a true Chad.
Shut up,
So my
Karen.
question.
Silence,
So my
Karen.
question is, so my question is, can any of the horses carry an 8'9", 255-pound barbarian?
Right. With a great sword and other,
Great axe, and-
great
and
axe
other-
and other accoutrements.
Yeah.
Probably not, to be fair.
I did think so. So I think I'll just be walking,
All
and if not,
Why
then
would you walk? We've got a wagon.
Yeah, hop on the wagon.
walk and hop on the wagon. He didn't let me finish.
Go on, finish.
I finished because I just said it.
Oh, okay.
All right, I am gonna dress up as an Orcan mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
I have met them. I know how they dress.
Mhm.
I'm gonna dress up as one of those and be the bodyguard of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in regards to that, what you know about Orcan mercenaries, you know that the biggest Orcan mercenary company in the world is called the Morg Van Chu.
That's right. I spent time with them for a while.
Mm-hmm. So you know how they work, you know how they operate, you know that they have a tavern in most cities.
Yeah.
That also serves as their barracks and headquarters in most cities.
Yeah.
And they always call it the same thing. It's always called the Four Shields Tavern.
Yep. I know. I was there. That's how I got out of the city.
Right.
Okay. All right. I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll be their mercenary.
All right.
I feel like I'd also be there, like bodyguard, you know.
Okay. Very good then. So you...
With one patch over my eye.
Okay, you're going to put a patch over your eye. All right. Is that
Yeah.
your disguise, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody else go out of their way to make any kind of disguises at this point, or what have you? I think
Well,
Jason
since-
covers himself up in robes and hides his armor.
I would like a hood, but I think Vespera would have one.
Yep, for sure.
It's probably red, sadly. That's
Right.
all she can do.
Is
About
it-
that,
Okay. Do you think the Wildfire Druid stuff is all red, or is it sort of flavored red? Is it trimmed with red, or
I think-
emblazoned with red? Or is
I
it
think it'd be red with like orange and orange accents.
Right, that would make sense. Okay, so
I do want to add that when we were escaping, I gave Vespera my cloak and bought another one.
that is true.
Ah, okay. Thank
So you still have my old cloak,
I will
which would
wear
be,
your old cloak.
Tell us
green, and basically it's sort of olive drab green.
about that. Okay.
I will try and like cover my armor as well with it. But when we get closer, I will turn into a animal of some sort. I will figure that out as we travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
You could be like a guard dog or something.
At this point, you've left
Could be a dog.
you've left Turagail and you're crossing the plains, heading for the forest.
And if anybody wants to talk to me, my name is Craig. Craig.
All right.
Crag David.
Now, just in case, I'm gonna get some initiative rolls. Hold on a minute. I might have to do a thing before you do that. Hold your initiative.
Damn it.
Hold your initiative.
Listen to what he has
Hold
to say,
your initiative.
Jojo.
Okay, roll your
Damn it,
initiative.
Rokan. All right.
Hang on.
Um,
Fuck, why
Okay,
did
so we're rolling for initiative now.
This is fucking silly. Hold on, I have to do another
I'm
thing.
gonna
Fuck. Stupid D&D Beyond. I don't know why, but you set up an encounter and you don't run it in the week that you were going to run it, and if you've got different characters in the campaign, it doesn't realise that there's different people, and so it still thinks that I've only got 2 players. So
Okay.
just sorting that out. We have Drazan, Feralt, Vespera, Rokan, and Hagelaz. That's right, yep.
That is correct.
Excellent. Alright, saving this thing again, and run this, and that looks correct. Okay, now you can roll for initiative. Sorry.
We already have.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, since we're using the ones we got before, I got a 21.
You got a 21? Do you want me to...
Ignore that one that I just put in. You can enter this manually.
I'll give you your 21. What did Drazan get?
You got a 10.
Drazan got a 10?
Yeah.
Rokan?
Rokan got a 16.
16. Feralt?
10 as well.
10 as well, I can see that. And Vespera?
16.
16. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Alright, so as you're getting towards the forest, I'll get perception checks for you guys. And give you a bit of a brief description. So the road's kind of winding slowly towards the forest, and in the distance beyond the forest you can see the mountains rising. And you can't quite see the city yet. The city's kind of more around the corner of the mountain from where you're coming. And on either side of the road, there's sort of before the forest rises up, there's a small break and a drop, almost like a cliff, but it's only like 10 feet high. And on either side of the road, these dusty plains sweep out in each direction, broken up by rocks, and the plains themselves are sort of cracked into steps. Does that give you a kind of a picture?
Yep.
Okay.
For the perception checks,
Yep.
Hagelaz and Rokan got a 21 and 12 respectively.
Okay, Hagler has a 21. Vespera got a 24, I see. Feralt
Yeah.
15. Drazan didn't see shit. He was too busy tying his shoelaces.
As normal.
As normal. Okay, so Vespera, Hagelaz, and to a lesser degree Feralt, you notice a little bit of movement near the edge of the road, just near the forest. In fact, you see a little bit of dust and dirt come sort of slipping down one of these small cliff faces.
There's something over there. I point to it.
I'm going to call out Stolas and just see if his superior vision can see anything.
Sure, you can make a perception or an investigation check with advantage for him, but as you do...
Okay, hang on, let me just check.
Hey.
So I just want to say Stolas has a -4 to intelligence.
Okay.
So, like, and he doesn't get proficiency in perception.
Okay,
Investigation, sorry.
fair enough.
So can I just do a straight perception check to just see if he sees anything?
Okay.
Okay, so he gets advantage and +3. So that is a 16 + 3, that's a 19.
Okay, well, Stolas is the first to see the crude spear that comes flying out from between some boulders that lands in the dirt in front of you, causing your horses to stop and kind of whinny for a moment. Hagelaz, it's your turn.
Wakey, wakey, Jojo.
What am I doing?
It's your turn. Hagelaz, your turn.
Oh. Excellent. Was it my turn? I thought Vespera got a higher one than me. Oh no, she didn't. Never mind. Ignore me. That's okay. What did we sing again? I wasn't listening.
Something just threw a spear at us.
Right. Okay. Obviously, I saw where that spear came from. I'm going to jump off the cart.
Okay.
I'm going to use my movement to get to it.
Okay, so you go charging up towards the boulder. It's still another 30 feet from 30 feet from where you are if you only use your standard movement.
Cool. Okay. Well, since it's still further away, what can I see? Can I?
You can't see anything actually.
Okay,
You
cool.
can tell you what you can do. You can make a perception check.
Cool. That is going to be a 17.
You see the shadow of somebody with a spear. You see the spearhead and the sort of humanoid figure behind a boulder casting a shadow out into the area that you can see. So while they're hidden and they have full cover, you can see their shadow being cast into the space.
You can see their shadow.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I think I would have seen that as I was doing my movement. I'm going to start making my way like to the other side of the boulder, so I'm kind of going behind it
Okay.
in a attempt to kind of get behind them.
All right. Are you
Hopefully,
going to use a dash action to do that? And
I'm going to use the dash action to get there.
Okay. So
I'm going to do that stealthily.
Okay, so you're going to make a stealth dash.
Stealth dash, yes. For a 19.
Okay. So the very quiet barbarian sneaks around the other side of the boulder. Excellent. Well, as you get there, the moment you get there, you realize that there is this humanoid hyena creature that you believe is a gnoll, looking up at you, and they immediately, because it's now their turn, because you've basically used your action to dash, thrust a spear at you for a 5 to hit, which is not going to hit you.
That does not hit me, no. Funnily enough.
No. And now it's Rokan's turn. So they've just looked at you, Hagelaz, and missed you. Okay, and Rokan, you're on a horse by the wagon, I'm assuming.
Is it visible to me? I'm up on a horse. Now he's rocking and rolling. Can I see anything?
So you're on horseback next to the wagon. Hagelaz has gone running up into the boulders on the side of the road. You might have seen the spear tip flash out in the sunlight for a moment. It's a stone spear tip. It's very crude, sort of very primitive looking thing. But you haven't seen. You can't actually see who's holding it. Only the head of the spear, and you see Hagelaz just kind of move out of the way of it for a moment.
Okay. I'll use Zephyr Strike.
Ooh, okay.
To go around the other side of the boulder and strike it.
Zephyr Strike. Alright, let's quickly look up Zephyr Strike.
You move like the wind. Until the spell ends, your movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. Once before the spell ends, you can give yourself advantage on one weapon attack roll of your turn. The attack does an extra 1d8 force damage on a hit. Whether it hits or misses, your walking speed increases by 30 feet until the end of your turn.
All right.
So I feel like you actually have to try and hit something
now,
before you can get the effects.
There is one more constraint to this. You're on a horse. I'll let you get off the horse as a free action, or you can use the horse and dash on the horse.
Well, the horse would probably have 60-foot movement, so it wouldn't need to dash.
Yeah, I was coming to that. But yes. So you could move there without casting Zephyr Strike if you didn't want to use up your spell slot, but that would not give you advantage on your attack, whereas Zephyr Strike will. And it will do extra damage as well, but it's up to you. Yeah, unmute.
I'll use Zephyr Strike.
Okay,
I'll
so
use
you
it.
drop off the horse, you race up to the corner, you get around the corner, you see this gnoll sitting there, attacking Hagelaz. He's not looking at you. Are you being... You can't really be stealthy while you're using Zephyr Strike, I feel. It's being fast. So you arrive there behind him. You have advantage to attack, so let's have a to-hit roll for your first attack.
Hammers.
With advantage.
And axes.
Cool. Axes, yeah.
Battle axes.
Battle axes, yeah. Advantage.
Battle axes, because Rokan's badass. Ooh.
18 to hit.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's going to be 6 points of damage plus Zephyr Strike. So that is going to be an extra 1. So 7 points of damage.
Yeah. Second attack.
Would that also be an
did you add the force damage?
Yeah, that was the plus 1.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Would this one be at advantage or just a normal attack?
This one. No,
Is he
actually,
flanking?
He is. I was about to say he is actually flanking.
Flanking.
So still has
Yeah.
advantage.
That's why I
So-
came around the other side.
Yeah. Oh,
Flaccid 20 to
flaccid
hit.
20 to hit. Yep.
And that is going to be 4 points of damage.
Okay. Very good. Okay, cool. So that's your action and your bonus action and your movement. Actually, to be fair, you probably got an extra attack in there because you also cast a spell. What is Zephyr Strike a bonus action or an action? It's got to be a bonus action, right?
It's a
It's a
bonus
bonus
action.
action, and he does get the two attacks per action.
Yeah. So he has 2 attacks per action,
Right.
and then has the
True.
bonus action.
Excellent. Okay, Vespera, your turn.
I'm going to create a produce flame, and when I see the bad guy, I will throw it at him.
So you're holding an action.
Yes, please.
Excellent. Drazan.
He is.
He's on horseback, I'm assuming, because he's kind of a knight kind of thing.
That's true. I'm trying to think of what he would do. He would quite possibly get out his crossbow
Mm-hmm.
and just wait as well.
So he's holding an action as well.
Yeah.
Fraut.
Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is bonus action tell Stolas to basically use all his movement and actually dash to get to about maybe 100 feet in the air, so he should be out of range of any like arrows and whatnot, but just, he can still see what's going on.
Okay.
Jump down from the wagon, use my movement to get closer, and I am going to hold a firebolt in case I see an enemy.
Very good. Okay. Stolas can make a perception check.
Okay.
Stolas has advantage. In fact, everyone else can make
Yep,
a
good.
perception check too, without advantage.
Ooh,
So
so
that's
close.
22.
22 for Stolas. All right. Well, Stolas sees that on the right-hand side of this rock, basically, that's where you're seeing one knoll, and then about 30 feet across to the left of that spot, there are another 3 knolls hidden a little bit further up,
Okay.
about 10 feet higher, behind
Okay.
another kind of outcrop there. And
Okay.
at that point, the first of those knolls stands up using a little bit of movement, throws a spear.
So that triggers my held action.
It does.
And
And yours.
mine?
Yep.
Do I
and-
see that
and
with the
Drazan's.
14?
Well, what did we get for your perception? So, 14?
I got 14.
Yeah, you see.
Jazan got a natural one.
Okay,
So
Drazan doesn't see
I'm pretty
shit.
sure they would see me firing a firebolt at something, though.
True, but it's all happening at the same time. Remember that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
okay, so yes, for Sparrow you can take
Yep.
an action.
no, I missed.
You missed? Okay, very good. So what did you do anyway? What did you cast or do?
Oh, it's a produce flame.
Produce flame, that's right. Okay, so you
Yeah.
fire a firebolt, she casts a produce flame, very similar kind of effect, over in that direction. The spear hits Drazan, no it doesn't, it hits Hagelaz for 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay,
Dang.
it does 6 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
Hagelaz didn't use his bonus action last turn, so would he be raging?
No,
Given there's
'cause
an
I
enemy
didn't-
right in front of him?
He didn't say anything about raging.
No, didn't say anything about raging, so it didn't happen.
Okay, the next knoll on the outcrop.
Hang on.
Well, the
So I
first
rolled
one.
a 19 to hit that null.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's a hit. Damage, please. Thank you.
That's 12 points of fire damage.
12 points of fire damage. Okay, that knoll takes 12 points of fire damage. Oops, incorrect. Okay, that knoll is bloodied from your firebolt. Okay. Then after he's cast a spear, he ducks back down into full cover. The second knoll tries to do the same thing. Well,
Can
actually,
Jazan try and perceive this one?
he's already used his held action.
He hadn't used it.
Well, he failed.
Oh, he failed to see something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he just saw me. He just saw 2 fire spells
Oh,
go off. I think he noticed that.
That was me rolling, so ignore that. But we'll go with the 17 plus whatever. It would be able to hit surely with 17
Can you
plus
roll it off
something.
Drazan's character sheet, please?
Okay. If I can find it, one sec. Heavy crossbow?
Mhm.
Okay. Action, heavy crossbow. Okay. 18.
Yep, that's a hit.
Happy? No.
Yes, much happier, thank you.
That would be
7
7.
points of damage. Okay, and that was to the initial. That's to the second null, isn't it?
Yeah.
The second one that's popped up. Okay, cool. Oh, fuck. Okay, this is actually much easier to do on Roll20, I've now learned. Okay, so that null is throwing a spear, I guess this time at Rokan. That is a 19 plus something, 23 to hit Rokan.
Yeah, that hits.
Rokan is going to take 8 points of piercing damage. Then that null pops back down into full cover. The
Cool.
third null on the outcrop does the same thing, but again, this time actually still at Rokan, because Rokan's the nearest. And he throws his spear at Rokan for a flaccid 20.
Yep.
And does another 8 points of piercing damage. So Rokan's taking some hits from spears, basically, at this point. Hagelaz, it's your turn.
Well, I'm very pissed off that I've just been hit with a spear, so I'm going to bonus action rage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to slam Nightbane into this knoll that's in front of me,
All right.
hoping to hit it
Yeah.
for a 24 to hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that is going to be 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage, okay. That knoll looks very messed up from what you've done. You smacked him across the face with your axe.
Plus 2, so that's going to be 11.
Oh, he's dead.
Cool.
Okay, you knocked him
And then
out.
I'm going to use my movement to go to the next knoll that I can see, or that I've seen them from.
Okay, so you need to move 30 feet across difficult terrain.
Oh, okay then.
So
So
60 feet. So you could dash.
I can't dash because I've used my bonus action to rage.
Yeah, okay.
You could action dash.
You could action dash.
I could
with him
action
and then
dash.
not have an attack on this turn, but you'll be in place on the next turn.
Yeah, cool. I'll just action dash.
Okay, cool. Very good. Rokan, it's your turn.
Will continue to attack the one I was attacking.
He's dead.
Oh, I will pick somebody else to attack.
All right. So looking around, Rokan, you actually right at this moment they're all under cover. They're all behind an outcrop, but you've heard the attacks happening over there. So somewhere around there, and you've seen Hagelaz run over to the outcrop. So you could feasibly realize that you could just follow Hagelaz.
I will follow Hagelaz.
All right, so you head off up there, and you're using. Now you can do a dash. You've got a special dash you can use 3 times a day if you want to.
Yeah, three dashes to get to a certain area.
And he gets temporary hit point.
And you get.
Yeah.
And you get temporary hit points for that one as
So we're
well.
going to use one of those 3 dashes to get to the location.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and you can see there are 3 gnolls behind this outcrop now, having moved to this position. And you're going to attack the first one, I assume.
And I will use those special things that I have, the 3 special things that we talked about.
Oh, okay. You can use one of them at a time, basically. So
Yeah,
which
one of them.
So
I'll use one of
you've
them.
got Hunter's Mark. You've got 2 other class features, I think, that you can.
Yeah, I
does
think.
similar stuff.
But he used his bonus action for the dash.
You did use your bonus action for the dash. You might not be able to do it this time. True that.
Right.
So,
Well-
shall we just make 2 normal attacks on this round?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the first one is going to be a 15 to hit.
All right. That does hit.
Excellent. And that's going to be 4 points of damage.
Okay. Now this is to the one that the Hagelaz has already hit once. Okay. And he's already bloodied, but now he's even more bloodied.
I didn't hit it. It was someone else.
Oh.
But yeah.
Somebody hit. Yeah.
And then
Oh,
he
sorry,
attacks with a
firebolt
second
to the face.
firebolt. Yeah. And then he's going to attack with a second axe, battle axe, and it's going to be a 10 to hit.
That does not hit, unfortunately. Okay, Vespera.
I will. Can I see any, or have they hidden again?
Oh, they're hiding right now. They're behind an outcrop, and you can see Rokan and Hagelaz engaged, but you can only see them. You can't see the gnolls.
Okay, I will produce flame and ready that
Okay.
again.
Right. So you're holding a produced flame. Drazan,
Yes, please. Phew. I
holding
think
held crossbow.
he would have to rejigger that again, wouldn't he?
Item interaction to reload.
Oh, item interaction then.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not his action. He gets one item interaction per turn, and then he can use that to reload.
Okay. So he's
Like, so instead of
he
like pulling out a
reloads-
weapon, he can reload the crossbow.
Right. So he
Okay.
can reload the crossbow, and he can hold it, or he can charge in and do something else.
Yeah. I wonder. I think at this point he should just charge in. Yeah.
All right. So
He'll
dropped the
dismount
crossbow,
valiantly and then
All right.
trounce off into the wilderness.
Well, I'm going to suggest that he rides in, because he will get there a lot faster that way.
Okay.
Um,
Would it be rough terrain for horses as well? Is that
Yeah, it is. It's rough terrain, but the horse has double the movement speed that he has, so
okay?
that makes
Sweet.
up for it.
Yep.
Okay.
So be it.
He rides up to the opposite position. It's still not flanking because there's three of them in a line, basically hidden behind the outcrop. But Drazan can make an attack with whatever his main primary.
Long sword +1.
Right.
Whoosh.
There you go.
It's so pretty. All right, let's go. I can't see. Oh, 13.
13 does not hit.
Okay, so he, as
he
a
have a
fighter,
s-
should have another
Does
action.
he have a second attack?
Yeah, extra attack. He will try again
Excellent.
for less. Excellent.
Yes. Okay. So that
He realizes
gnolls-
that he's on a horse and it's he's too tall on the horse.
All right, Fralt.
Okay. So can I see those gnolls from where I am, or can I move to where I can see them?
you can dash to where you can see them, but you can't see them from where you are.
Okay, so I can't see them using 30 feet of movement.
No.
Okay, so basically I'm just going to use 30 feet of movement to move towards them.
Okay.
I am going to instruct Stolas to keep looking to let me know if there's more of them,
Okay.
and I am going to hold a Toll the Dead.
Okay. Very good. Excellent. So the gnoll that has already been hit from behind at the back of the outcrop, who's been firebolted and chopped so far, he is going to try and bite Hagelaz. Hagelaz, what's your AC?
15.
He misses you. The next gnoll stands up and tries to spear Hagelaz. Now this gnoll standing up reveals himself. He has half cover now that he's standing up.
Okay.
Okay. So if I can see him,
fire,
he can make a Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay.
And if I can see him,
Yep.
I can roll produce flame.
Yep.
Excellent.
Okay. His wisdom save was a 17. Produce flame was a 14. That misses.
Okay, so he saves.
He saves against both of those. Then he ducks back down again after his attack. The other gnoll that is in combat with Rokan at the end of the line, he tries to spear Rokan with a two-handed attack with the spear, which is an 18 to hit Rokan.
That hits.
He does 5 points of piercing damage to Rokan.
Cool. Noted.
Hagelaz, it's your turn. You're at the other end of that line.
This creature's just hit me, so I'm going to scream in his face
Yep.
to do an intimidation.
Okay, so you're gonna make an intimidation check.
I am gonna get a natural one. Again, I think my scream just comes out as a little squeak. I'm a bit parched. And then I'm gonna action hit him with
Okay.
Nightbane.
Alright, so roll to hit.
That, on the other hand, is going to be a flaccid 20,
Very good. That's a good hit.
which is going to be one off max, 15 points of damage.
Alright, you slay the first gnoll. Do you have any more actions, bonus actions?
Would the intimidation check have been an action?
No, that's a
Okay,
free-
cool.
free.
I move. I kick this gnoll's body away,
Uh-huh.
and do movement to the next one,
Okay. 5
and then
feet.
hit him 5
Alright.
feet, and then I hit him with Nightbane again,
Roll to hit.
and that is going to be a 15 to hit.
That hits.
That is going to be 11 points of damage.
Okay. He is well bloodied. Excellent. Rokan, Taka, it is your turn.
Gonna do one of those things now.
Okay, so do you want to use Hunter's Mark or do you want to use one of your class traits?
Class traits.
Class traits, okay.
Yeah,
Can you-
there's one he can use. It isn't a consumable one. He may as well put that one on first.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Okay. So can you do that
Which is-
every round, can he?
Well,
Without consuming anything?
I think he can do it every initiative. Let me just. I'm just gonna look up his features and traits.
Yep.
I think it's what I think what we're looking at is
Slayer's Prey
favorite
or the other one?
Slayer's Prey, I think, or what is it? Favored Foe.
Favored Foe. Okay, so just quickly go through those two. We'll see what the difference
Yeah,
is between them.
when you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can mark the target as your favorite enemy for 1 minute or until you lose your concentration. The first time on each of your turns that you hit a favorite enemy, you'll deal damage to it, including when you mark it. You increase this damage by 1d6.
Okay, so this is a bonus action.
That is no action.
No action.
No action.
Really?
It just, you see it, you can go, that's my favorite foe, and then if you hit, you
Right.
get an extra 1d6.
And how often can he do this?
He can do
He can do it
this
3 times.
3 times
3 times per long rest.
per long rest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're doing
I
that,
will
so-
just clarify. He does it when he has to hit them with an attack to activate it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very good. So let's see if we can hit him.
Yes, we can. We can
Battle
do that.
axe. Are you
Excellent.
using battle axes or are you using that longsword +1 still?
I'm using that longsword +1.
Okay, so longsword and a battle axe. So
Yeah.
let's keep that
Yeah.
in mind. We did
Okay.
fuck that up last round, but I'm okay
Cool.
with that. Oof.
Sweet. Okay, so longbow attack for
No, longsword.
No, longsword.
Longsword. Yes. They're all...
Longsword, not wrong bow.
I could try firing a sword with my bow, but I'm seeing...
I can see Rokan. That's a 17 to hit.
17 hits. So that
Yes.
activates your thing.
Favored foe.
Favored
Got to
foe.
get rid of those things because those will get annoying. So that's going to be 11 points of damage.
Okay, you hit and bloody the gnoll that you're in combat with. Next
Plus,
attack.
plus a 1d6,
Plus a 1d6.
which is going to be a extra 4 points of damage.
Number 4. Excellent.
And then he's going to go for a battle axe attack for a 10.
And that misses. Okay, Vespera.
Same thing. Produce
action.
flame. Wait.
Holding. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Drazan, he is
Longswording.
right. He's up next to Rokan at this point, and he's longsword attacking.
Can he get to a flanking position? Please.
Unfortunately, he can't. There's no way to flank them. They have their
Oh.
backs to the wall, and there's 3 of them, or 2 of them left now, so you can't flank 2 of them. They've
Okay.
got their backs to the wall, so yeah.
Right. Well, let's just go. Let's go.
Alright,
So first one will be 23.
hits. Is he hitting
Okay.
the first or second of the 2 gnolls that survive?
Are they both on him in close range?
Yes, they're both
Like
within
that?
5 feet of him.
All right, we'll go with the first one, eh? Whatever one looks wounded the most.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can't tell. So that'll be 8 points.
8 damage. Okay, he
Yep.
kills that gnoll.
All right.
He has a second
He
attack against the final
looks
gnoll.
at the next one.
Alright.
Hello, friend. I think in this case he's going to use precision attack.
Okay.
In order to add a D8 to his
Attack
roll.
Okay.
So
that's
maybe an extra 5, so 16.
16 to hit.
Yep.
That hits.
Cool. And he can have 12 points of delicious
Alright.
damage.
And Drazan kills him too. Everything goes quiet. Initiative is over. All the gnolls
Excellent.
are dead. What do you do?
Vesper is holding a produce flame.
Alright. Well, a few seconds pass and Drazan sort of steps back and he looks around at the rest of you. Do you see any more? He's wiping the blood off his blade.
Me no see any.
We should be
I'll
careful.
see if Stolas can see anything.
Alright, you can make a perception check for Stolas.
I might make a perception check.
That's a
for-
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Stolas is pretty sure there's nothing around.
Okay. Are these ones using obsidian arrowheads like the other ones?
Yes.
Okay. So Furlt is just making a point of like he's going, hey, free obsidian. This stuff is useful. Gathering up the arrowheads and spearheads.
Okay. Very good. You get about a pound worth of obsidian out of that, I expect.
Nice. Well done.
Well done. Indeed.
All right, let's get back on the road then.
Alright, so you get back on the road. Now,
On the road again.
So the journey back to Dagdagiel, you will have to take a
Wait a
rest at least
minute.
once.
Wait a minute. What about Barry?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. You're looking pretty bad, aren't you? Okay, right. Hold on.
He's looking pretty hungry too.
All right, well, I will turn I'll create 10 level 1 berries.
10 level 1 berries. Crikey.
So how many does everyone need?
I didn't get hit.
Well, then you don't need them. You don't have to say anything.
Me do.
Yep, I can see that both you and Hagalaz look pretty bad. Tell me what you need.
I don't look bad at all. You see like a little like a little cut. It's nothing.
Rokan, on the other hand, looks bad like Michael Jackson.
How
Yes.
many would you like?
That dog.
Okay, how about I just put them in your mouth until I can see the wounds heal?
Sure.
Yep.
So what are they?
There you go.
Okay.
So 4 points.
Oh, yep, cool. Okay, hold on. So,
Yep. 4 points.
Yep. Yep.
Right, yep.
Great.
Right.
Oh,
4 more
oh,
points.
look.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Done. Yeah. There
Okay.
you go.
Oh, you're all healed up now.
I like Graham's last comment. Jojo, wait, what am I doing? Rolling a new character again, apparently. Jojo's like, shh.
Okay, so I think for the sake of bookkeeping, I'm going to be keeping track of the good berries, but I would have shared them out amongst everyone.
Okay.
So if you use them, I will mark it off my list. So
Thank you.
it's just easier for everyone
And for doing
and
so,
myself.
for doing such a wonderful task, you may have inspiration. Okay, so heading towards the city from here, right? You head into the forest, and the forest goes for quite a long way, much of the distance to Dagdagiel from here. And so, passing through the forest, you can choose to take the route that you came through before, making a successful survival check, or you can cut a new path through the forest if you wish.
That was me rolling my elixir.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was about to say, that's a poor roll, but
That's a very bad survival
Yeah.
check, and you rolled a d6. What the hell?
what do you think we should
Yeah.
do? What do you think we should do, Rokan? forests have
Me
always
think-
been your thing.
Me think we are only merchants. We go on trail, like everybody else.
Okay.
Make a new trail, bit strange.
Hey, let's take the path we know. Less likely to get lost.
Okay then.
All right. Well, to be fair, the path that you took before last time, you left the trail, but you're finding your way back to that trail. So I'm going to get somebody to make a survival check, and you're working together, so they'll have advantage.
Who's got a
Okay,
good survival check?
I do. I think you probably
Rokan
do.
has the highest.
I've got
just at
I've got a
guess.
plus. I've got a +4, and Rokan's got a +4.
Okay.
I've got a
survival.
+4 as well.
Wow.
And plus we've got Stolas can scout out overhead as well.
True that. Okay, so given all of those factors, I will get a survival check with advantage, but I'm gonna lower the DC significantly based on that.
Okay. And we should get guidance on that, I think.
You want
I
some
can only
guidance?
give one of you guidance.
Yeah, but
Look,
we're
it's only one person.
it's only one person's rolling.
Okay, who is it? Who do I need to?
Who's getting?
I'd say Feralt should do it because
Okay.
he's got Stolas and.
Yeah, I switched to the Themberchow dice and they seem to like me.
Okay.
Nice.
Let's get
I
advantage survival check from Feralt, please.
Yes, and guidance.
I have good berry. Help my survival.
Mm.
I jinxed it. I'm gonna roll guidance.
Okay.
That's a 13.
Yeah. Well, as it happens, I decided that the DC for this was going to be 10, so you actually made it. So what
Okay.
you managed to find the actual road itself. If you do recall, there was a point where you had to climb up a small hill, a bit of a cliff, and you had to leave the horses behind at one point.
Mhm.
And it was when you left the path.
We did notice that there was that there was a road that went back there.
Right.
Did we go past the owlbear?
Where we saw the owlbear.
You
That was
may.
after that, but did we see
I
the
don't think
owlbear?
so. I think you have to actually go around that whole area in order to get back to the road.
It's okay.
But you do go back to the road, and a few hours pass, and the suns begin to set. First sun sets, second sun is on the horizon. The pillar, the high arch, and the steps can be seen clearly in the sky. 3 of the 7 moons.
We are going past corpses, aren't we? Or has someone cleaned them up?
At this point, I'm trying to remember which corpses you would be talking about.
All of Vesperia's family.
No.
Her branch.
No, you went around that whole area
Okay,
to
okay.
get to the road faster.
Hmm.
But it is getting dark, and you will need to decide whether you want to continue going or you want to set a camp for the night.
I believe merchants would be unlikely to keep going. If we are pretending to be merchants, I think it would be wise to set a camp rather than trying to find their way in the dark.
I think that's wise.
And remember, it's a free action to cry. So you're going to set camp?
Are we doing it?
Setting camp?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Tell me about your camp. Tell me all about your camp. I want to know the details.
Well, I'm going to feed the horses a good berry.
Okay.
Each,
Yeah, but he's asking
so,
about the
two.
camp. So tell me about the terrain and the area we're in then.
Well, it's forest. It's a little bit wider open forest. It's not so dense as the area where Vespera's tribe or clan were.
Okay.
It's flatter. The trees are
Okay, so
spaced further apart. Big trees.
Okay. No rocky outcrops particularly, I'm guessing.
There are
Okay.
a few.
And-
There are a couple of sort of rocky-looking hills that stick up jaggedly out of the forest floor in places.
Okay, so but probably nothing we could really get a wagon on top of easily.
Not on top of, but you could park around the side of one and sort of into a hollow on one side of these sort of jagged.
And then just like put our camp on top, basically.
Oh, you want to put the camp on right up on top?
Well, it just seems to me like
you'll have to climb up them.
higher ground.
To be fair, it's
Okay.
pretty.
Okay.
Pretty
Well, I
steep.
figure in that case, just like having a rocky outcrop at our back is probably a good idea. If somebody's going to come on us in the night, it limits how
Yeah.
it limits how they can come at us. And I'd also, personally, I would put ourselves on the opposite side of the rock from the road if possible.
Right. Sure. Yeah. No problem. There's a big tree overhanging the area where you build your camp, so there's a certain amount of cover from the sky too. In that respect, there's a stream.
Yeah, and
a stream runs past within about 100 feet of this camp, or at least of this position, where fresh water can be obtained.
I'm gonna make myself a little perch in the trees.
Okay. Well, I might get an athletics check for Rokan.
Is there any like boulders or anything?
There are some boulders.
I'm gonna
they're
go
spaced out quite spartanly.
Oh, that's all good. I just want to climb on a boulder and lie on it.
Anyone that wants to make a nature check can do so for me.
Yeah.
Do we need fire?
So Ferelt's a 5 on that nature check. Hagelaz is a 9.
I'm going to change dice. They don't like me after all.
Rokan, can we get a nature check for Rokan, please?
Yeah, we can get a nature check for Rokan. He gets a 5.
Okay. Does Vespera want to make a nature check? I guess Brazan can do it too.
All right, nature.
I
Nature
just
20.
Wow.
And
actually, it makes sense that Vespera would
Oh.
get this.
he almost had a natural 20, but no, he has a 9.
That's fine, and this makes a lot of sense. Vespera, the thing, looking around at the terrain at this point, you can see all the trees, and it's kind of green here. It's much nicer than 20 miles back where you were in the wasteland. And you're noticing these big boulders that are spaced out between each other, and some of these bigger outcrops that are just sort of sitting there amongst this flat plain. And you remember where you came from and where your clan came from, and the volcano that had erupted. And this reminds you of that. And you suddenly realize that these are all volcanic rocks that must have fallen from the sky, probably from the direction of Dagdagiel, maybe thousands, if not millions of years ago.
I'll go up and touch
overgrown.
one.
It's ancient history, of course. But yeah.
I will go
natural
up and touch one.
Okay. You kind of sense the fact that this stone has been utterly transmogrified by the heat and fire and power of that volcano at some point, and you kind of get a sense of the power of transformation that fire carries with it. All right. So you set your camp, and are you going to take watches or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm also
Hell
going
yeah, we
to.
are.
I'm going to ritual cast alarm on the area where I'm sleeping.
Okay.
And set Stolas on watch.
All right. Very good. Okay.
Glass is climbing up on one of the rocks and like sleeping on it, like kind of doing what cats do and stretch out.
Right.
And I'm just gonna lie on my back comfortably. How big are these boulders?
Some of them are quite big.
I choose one of the biggest ones to climb up on.
All right, it's like 40 feet high.
Cool. Do you want to do an athletics check to get up?
I certainly do. And Rokan was going to make an athletics check to climb a tree as well.
I get a 18 to climb up this rock.
18 to climb up this rock. Okay.
And Rokan gets a 17 to climb up a tree.
All right, 17 to climb up a tree. Okay. Very good. Stolas can make a perception check in the middle of the night when he is on watch.
Okay. Oh, and I should add a minor thing.
Does he take
before
watch by
we
himself, or just both of you together?
He's like assisting because he can make a noise, alert whoever's on watch, just like fly down and get their attention. But I'm just gonna say that before we went to bed, I would have spent a little bit of time puzzling over that box.
Okay.
So I'm not ignoring it.
Okay.
So yeah, Stolas. So that's an 18 for perception.
18 for perception. Okay. So basically at about sort of two bells in the morning, 2 a.m., where everybody else is asleep except for Feralt and Stolas. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, Stolas, he's technically a phase spirit, so he could have been up there but
At any time.
We'll say it's my watch.
It's your watch. Stolas alerts you to the fact that there's some large creatures moving through the forest about maybe 100 or 200 feet away, near the stream.
Okay. So I'm not going to immediately do it, make any noise.
Okay.
But I am going to. Well, actually, I would have already cast Dark Vision on myself.
Okay, what's the range on your dark vision? And can I get initiative checks from everybody just in case?
It's 60 feet.
60 feet. Okay.
So it's like if they're 100 feet away, I'm not going to see them. But if they start getting closer, and if they do start getting closer, I'm going to quietly go and wake everyone.
Okay, so Rokan, you got a 6 on your initiative there, just so you know. So we've got a 14 for Vespera, 6 for Rokan, 15 for Feralt, 22 for Hagelaz, and 8 for Drazan.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Very good. So you're not doing anything particularly right now. Do you alert anyone or anything like that?
Yeah. So actually, if I use the message cantrip to whisper to someone, would that wake them?
I think that they would make a Constitution saving throw to see if they wake up.
Okay,
I think the person you may need to do that to is Hagelaz, because he's up a 40 feet rock.
Okay, well, basically, I'm also trying to not alert if these things are coming towards us. I'm trying not to alert them that I know that I've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I'm just going to go through messaging
each person
in turn as an action each.
All right.
And I'll start with Hagelaz and Rokan.
All right, con save for
and then
Hagelaz, and then Rokan, then Spera, and then Drazan.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm fine. I get a
just
21.
Okay, so Hagelaz, you wake up and you receive the message. Vespera receives the message. Rokan receives
14?
the message. Drazan is still kind of dozing. He's not used to this getting messages in his ear in the middle of the night thing, so he sort of...
Yeah, and if he doesn't wake up, I'll just try it again.
Okay. Alright, so after a few moments you get him awake. In any case, so everyone's woken up in their respective positions. Rokan, do you sleep in the tree or do you come down from the tree? Sorry, you're on mute.
I make a bed in the tree, literally.
Okay, like a hammock kind of deal.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with that. Okay, so what do you guys do now that you're awake?
I'm going to... I just remember I could make lots of berries before I go to bed. So...
Actually, we'll just use the initiative order here. Hagelaz, what do you do when you wake up?
Yeah.
I make my way down this boulder again, remembering where I had my hands as I'm going down.
Okay, but it is dark now, so you're going to make a disadvantaged athletics check, although you have advantage on athletics checks normally, don't you?
Nope.
No? Okay, never mind. Do you disadvantage athletics check? 40 feet is quite a long way to fall,
18.
Alright then. Fuck you. Okay, you slip, you get down the boulder in a few seconds. Feralt, your turn. What would you like to do?
So does Hagelaz have dark vision?
I don't think so.
No, I do not. I have no dark vision.
Okay, bonus action. Send Stolas to Hagelaz.
Touch spell.
And I'm going to cast dark vision through Stolas.
Nice. Okay, so Hagelaz suddenly, woof, your eye, everything changes, and you're like, ooh. Have you had this cast on you before?
Nope.
Okay, so this is your first
I
time?
only just learned it last session.
Okay,
do you want me to do sort of like a saving throw to
make a
wisdom
save to see if you freak out?
I do freak out. I got a 3.
Okay, do you want to make a con save to see whether or not you shout?
I mean, to be fair, you
21.
didn't tell it.
Alright, so you don't make a noise, but you've freaked out.
Cool.
Alright, so that's going to cause you... I'm going to give you disadvantage for 1 turn.
Cool. Sweet.
Vespera.
Oh,
Just a quick question, sorry. How long does this last? I'm just writing a note.
8 hours, and it's
8
not concentration.
Cool, 8 hours.
good luck getting to sleep. Oh, no, I'm just...
It's dark vision, not devil sight.
I know. You can't see the inside of your eyelids. Anyway, I will just start creating berries.
Okay, so you wake up and start creating berries. All right.
Yeah, I forgot to do that before, so I just sit down and create them.
All right. Drazan sits up near you, Feralt, after you've woken him. What is it? What's going on?
And I basically just quietly tell him what Stolas saw.
Okay, he's drawing his sword and collecting his bits and pieces and making sure that he's prepared for any kind of combat.
Yeah, and on my next turn, I'll give him dark vision as well.
Where did you see this?
They're out about 100 feet away. I saw them through Stolas.
Can you still see
I'll help
them?
you see in a moment.
Very good. All right. Hagelas, sorry, Rokan, you're in the tree. You wake up in your hammock with this message into your mind, essentially, or into your ear, and you are on mute.
I'll find a place in the tree where I can shoot from.
Okay, so you're basically loading up your bow. You're going to knock an arrow, and you're going to hold an action.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, Rokan. Cool, Hagelas, you're down at the bottom of the cliff face now, still a bit freaked out. You're at disadvantage on everything right now.
Cool. Okay, well, I'm only at disadvantage for one action, for one turn, so...
You can wait it out if you want to.
I'm going to wait it out. I'm just going to hold an action to attack. Which
Recklessly.
means reckless. No, I'm not going to do
You already have
reckless.
disadvantage, right? Oh, wait, no, it's...
He has disadvantage. They don't have disadvantage.
Yeah.
They don't have advantage on him.
They don't have advantage on me, which we don't want. So, you know what, actually, I'm just going to wait it out, and I am going to action hide.
Action hide. Okay, make a stealth check for me, please.
At disadvantage.
At
Oh,
disadvantage.
wrong one. Disadvantage.
Natural one.
Wrong
Yeah,
person.
you're not Rokan.
13.
13. Oh, okay. All right, so 13. Very good. Okay. Very good. Feralt, it's your turn.
And now I'm going to warn Drazan, and I just say, I'm going to give you some magic to help you see in the dark, and cast dark vision on him as well.
Oh. My goodness, this is a very strange experience. Where are all the
This is
colours
what-
gone?
Aww.
It's dark. You couldn't see colors anyway.
Yes, but I can see so much more now. So interesting. How
It-
far
it's
can you
magic,
see? Is this 60 foot or what?
It's 60 foot.
Okay, cool.
It's 60 foot. So basically, if it gives you an additional 60 foot on whatever you have. So if you got 0, it gives you 60. If you got 60, it gives you 120.
120, gotcha.
I think theoretically, it gives you, if you have 120, it gives you 180.
Wow, that's impressive. Very good. Vespera.
I'm going to create more
good
berries.
Okay, so that's what
Yeah.
you're doing. Drazan, well, we know what he's doing. I will get a perception check from Rokan and Hagelaz, please.
Certainly. Hayglass's perception is a 10.
Okay, you're not seeing Dick from your position.
And it's 11 from
For
Rokan.
Okay, very good. Hagelaz, what do you do now that your actual turn is up?
I'm going to look around and see if I can see anything.
Okay. Oh, my apologies. It's actually Rokan's turn before that.
Oh.
Sorry, Rokan, what would you like to do? You're holding an action. You're still holding that action?
Yep. I am looking for any kind of disturbance in the brush or anything like that.
All right. Okay, so you got an 11 on that perception check. So you're not seeing any disturbance at this point.
What if it's that out there?
Hagelaz.
Okay, since it's now my turn again, I'm going to see if I can see anything again.
All right.
Like, look around more.
This
more
time you can make an investigation check.
investigation check.
Is it the same as your perception?
No,
Is it better or worse? Than
It's
perception?
worse.
it's much worse.
Well, you can make a perception check. I'll allow that.
My perception is +4, my investigation is -1.
How does that make sense? But okay, go on.
because I'm
One's intelligence, one's wisdom.
Yeah. Okay.
and I'm
18.
18.
All right. Hagelas, you do hear something moving through the brush further up, about maybe 60 odd feet from you, close to the edge of the stream. You can see some large creatures, like a family of them, moving through the trees.
Oh.
2 big ones and about 3 much smaller ones.
Do they look like they're coming towards us? Because I can see 60 feet in dark now.
Right.
So I can just see them on the edge. But do they
right.
look like they're coming towards us, or
They do appear to be sniffing around the ground and generally moving slowly in your direction.
okay? I'm going to slowly make my way towards them as well. So, very very calmly.
Still stealthing, or
Still stealthing at the moment.
Let's get another stealth check.
Certainly. 15.
15. Yep. Okay.
And I'm going to then sit and spend 10 minutes ritual casting Speak with Animals.
10 minutes.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
like 100 rounds.
That's fine with me. I'm going to sit and spend 100 rounds.
Oh my god.
Casting Speak with Animals.
At least it's not, what is it, 10,000 rounds or something?
Oh god.
Waiting an
10,000.
hour for you and your freaking tuning to a wand?
Tuning to a wand, yes.
All right, Feralt, your turn.
So basically, I'm going to ask Stolas to get, because Stolas has 120-foot dark vision.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Stolas to let me know what he sees, and I'm not planning on doing anything aggressive yet, but I am on edge.
Okay. So you're going to see what Stolas can see. Okay, and Stolas is in flight?
In fact, yeah, actually what I'll do is I will share senses with Stolas as an action,
Okay.
and just have him stealthily fly up maybe 40 feet, aiming for 40 feet above him. He's got like 60-foot movement speed, fly speed.
Okay. So he's going to fly up like 40 feet over the perceived area.
Yeah, like over them, and he's gonna like kind of like
Okay.
look down on them.
All right. Well, Stolas does that, and you will recognize that these creatures are in fact owlbears, and there is a mommy owlbear.
So basically,
and a daddy owlbear.
Is it?
And 3 baby
Yeah.
owlbears.
So I can't see or hear anything, but I'm just going to whisper to whoever can hear it. They look like owl bears.
All right.
Vespera nods.
Is that your turn, Vespera? Nodding.
Oh, she will stand up and take her, like, the berries that she had.
Yeah.
And walk closer.
So you start walking towards where you believe the owlbears are?
Yeah.
Okay. Drazan, he looks around at you, and owlbears are extremely dangerous, Feralt.
I can't hear him.
Oh, because you're sharing senses. Feralt?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
he probably
could.
he doesn't know that.
So he's like, Feralt? Feralt? He calls out, Vespera! Vespera! Feralt, there's something wrong with Feralt.
It's all right.
No,
And
it's
I walk
not.
off.
He's unconscious or something. He's fallen. I don't know what's going. He starts shaking you.
I can feel him, so I'm just kind of like batting. Like I'm blind and deaf, but I can still feel stuff. So I'm just kind of
He's
like
having some
batting
kind
him
of
away. And
fit.
just...
Do you know any medicine? We need to fix him now. Perhaps we need to put a good berry in his mouth. I'm sure that will do it.
I'm pretty sure this is more than 6 seconds of conversation.
Right. Okay. Rokan. D&D player 1131. What is happening? Okay, well, very simply. If we're
Unmute
talking-
yourself, Barry.
If we're talking about this very moment, we are.
I am-
owlbears, basically. That's
You talk first.
Yes, so these guys are in the forest. They were taking camp. They're in a what was once a volcanic plain that is overgrown with trees, and there's a river nearby. And these guys have ascertained that there is a small family of owlbears wandering near their camp, whom they were going to destroy. But now that they know they're owlbears, we'll see what they do. I'm very curious myself. Okay, please, over to you, Rokan.
Okay, Rokan, can he see everybody going in the direction of...
Yeah, well, the
Whatever.
thing is, actually, Rokan, you're the closest, actually, besides for Hagalaz, who's at a sort of 45-degree angle from you, and he's heading that way, you're heading that way, so you're sort of intersecting on these creatures.
What do I know about owlbears?
They're very dangerous, and they're very likely to maul people. They can, they're like bears. I mean, bears kill people, bears maul people, bears eat people. And these are owlbears that are bigger and scarier than bears, but they're also kind of fluffy and cute. So yeah, that's what you know. The other thing that you know, Rokan, is that they are categorically in the D&D game. They are not beasts. They are a type of monstrosity, I think. Just double check this, but I'm fairly sure. Yeah, it's a monstrous beast, so it's not a typical beast, and most people do not consider them to be animals, so you do not think that anyone will be able to talk to them as an animal.
No, I'll leave these guys to it. They seem to...
They have...
I'll just watch, just in case things get nasty.
Alright, do you continue holding your action?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Hagalaz, you're still casting for another, how many 100 rounds?
Another 100 rounds,
Right.
yeah.
So
It's 99 rounds now.
Right, so for some reason now, our Goliath Barbarian has decided to cast Speak with Animals as a ritual. It's going to take 10 minutes, so that's like, what did we say, 100 rounds?
It's 100 rounds, so it's 99 rounds.
99
of
rounds.
casting to go. 99 casting rounds to go.
Oh my God.
You take
Should we
one
just
down,
wait it
pass
out?
it around.
Alright, don't leave our stream, please stay.
Please stay.
Okay, so
What?
Feralt, it's your turn.
Basically, yeah. So I'm going to stop sharing senses with Stolas. I believe that's also an action.
Okay.
And just tell Drazan, I was using magic. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank goodness you're all right. I was very concerned for you. You were thrashing about. You tried to slap me a few times.
Aye, because you were grabbing me. I couldn't see or hear you. I could still feel you.
That is a very strange concept for me to wrap my
We
mind
need to
about.
sit down and have a. We need to have a. I need to sit down and educate you on magic at some point. I'm telling you.
I feel that might be true. I feel that may be
You
the case.
two.
Rokan can't talk to them. You're like 50 feet away from them.
I'm...
In a tree.
Okay.
Vespera.
I'm gonna go a bit closer, but I'm gonna be looking around for our party because Feral woke everyone up, and
Right. Can you make a perception check, please, Vespera?
also trying to keep an eye out for these.
I'm going to give you
Owlbears.
advantage for this perception check because you do have dark vision and you also kind of have a clue where they were to begin with.
Okay, 18.
Okay, 18. All right. So you can see Hagalaz standing in a small clearing between some trees, ritual casting something, and you know that Rokan's in that tree kind of just near you, actually. You could probably talk to Rokan if you wanted to, without shouting. You could shout to Hagalaz, or you could shout to the guys behind you, but you can talk in a normal voice to Rokan if you wish.
I will
And you can see the owlbears.
I will wave to Rokan, and like be like very impressed by the owlbears and happy that they're okay. Are they wounded like the one was?
You can see...
I had given them like a basket, well, a makeshift basket load of good berries.
Right.
So I'm hoping that they aren't.
Right.
Can Rokan see him doing something in the middle of...
Hagalaz?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see him doing this ridiculous...
Vespera.
Yes?
What Hagalaz doing?
I don't know, but I'm gonna go grab him and just
Tell
pull him
him-
away.
Tell him owlbear, not friendly. No speaker with the beast talk if anything like that. Cannot do.
Okay.
No?
I have no idea what he's doing, I'll be honest. Anyway,
about-
I'll just go over. I'll go over. I start to walk over to shake Hagalaz out of this.
Out of his ritual.
Yeah.
It'd be a some sort of save because I'm currently
Okay, so
trying to concentrate.
okay, so you're sort of trying to shake him off, really, are you? You want to make we'll make it a wisdom saving throw in this case. I like what Graham says here. He says, to Feral Artificer, I live for the idea of an entire session being Feralt giving the party a PowerPoint presentation on magic and strategic uses thereof.
That was a 5. So you snapped me out of my ritualistic casting of speak with animals.
So your ritual's now gone, poo, and that's not coming back. You'd have to start again if you wanted to try.
I should have waited till like you were like almost there.
Oh, I did that in Sunfall. Do you remember I did that to Edwin with Milmore Glass that time? Because Edwin was doing a ritual casting to identify a spell, and then Milmore just cast the spell, used a spell slot like in the last 10 seconds of his ritual.
It was detect magic, but yeah.
That's right, detect
magic. It was...
Right. Come on, Hagalaz. We're gonna get back.
Move.
We can't hear you. You're so far away.
He's trying to make signals like
one of the owlbears starts
slowly.
Sniffing the air.
Just because I'm going to make this interesting, I stand up. I can obviously see them.
Yeah.
And I just go. I stand up. The spirit has no idea what I'm going to do, and I just go, "Hello."
One of the owlbears turns to where that sound came from and begins bounding towards you, Hagalaz.
That's not very wise.
In your direction.
I put my hand out for it
with the baby ones.
I put my hand out for it to sniff.
Okay.
It's gonna do more than sniff.
Can you make an?
Might be more of a scratch.
Can you make a persuasion check?
Certainly, I can do that. Persuasion. Going to be interesting. For a dirty 1.
All right.
That is.
What's your armor class?
Insane.
It's a 15.
And I just rolled a natural 1 on my attack roll. Okay, so this owlbear goes charging at you and leaps towards you and just goes skidding past you and kind of swerves around about 90 degrees as it goes past you. Now, I'm going to go back to the beginning of initiative right now because actually it should be Vespera's turn, but I've kind of skipped that.
I've had my turn.
Yeah. So Drazan, he's turning to you, Feralt. Do you think we need to head down and help them? To Feralt.
I believe that might be a good idea.
All right. So he starts running in that direction. The first owlbear, I will drop that. Okay. Rokan, you see this going on. This owlbear charges at Hagalaz, leaps at him, and Hagalaz just steps out of the way as the owlbear slides across the mud and spins around in the mud. What are you going to do, Rokan? You're still holding that action.
I so didn't want to make little owlbears family
Fatherless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here we
Orphans,
go.
Orphaned owlbears.
All right, I aim at its head and go.
You're gonna shoot that? Okay, you shoot at the owlbear. All right, roll to hit.
Okay.
Are you using any fancy traits or features or spells?
Oh, Hunter's Market.
Hunter's Mark.
20,
all right. Bonus
25.
25 hits. Okay, let's have a Hunter's Mark and a damage, please.
That's 12 points of damage, and Hunter's Mark is going to be cast again. That is going to be an extra 6 points.
6 points of damage. All right, cool. And you've got a second attack?
Can't because it's a long.
Held action. Yeah.
It was a held action.
No.
It was a
Well,
held
I mean,
action
he's
because
holding the attack action.
No,
It's
he can still try
if he's
again.
holding the attack action, he gets when he takes the
He gets
attack
his full
action, he gets
attack.
two attacks.
Yeah.
So he should get
Oh, yeah.
two attacks.
Don't confuse
So-
me, Jojo. What were you talking
got it confused.
I think
so
like
Okay, let's stop for a minute. Let's just get the second attack.
Sorry. There are certain things that say you make one attack specifically, but I don't think held action is one of them.
No.
Yeah, fair enough. Item interaction to reload his longbow.
Yep, free action.
Yep, cool. So it's going to hit again, and it's going to be a 19 to hit.
Hits. Damage, please.
And then it's going to be 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage plus a hunter's mark. The owlbear is bloodied.
And that's going to be an extra 1, so 13.
Oh, okay. Excellent. It is Hagelaz's turn. You've just seen the owlbear go skidding past you, and then thump, thump, 2 arrows hit it from the sky.
Cool. I'm very sad about this, but I'm going to hit it with Nightbane.
Okay, roll to hit.
That's going to be a 23 to hit.
Yep.
And so that's going to be... Step by. That's going to be 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Yep.
And then I'm going to hit again with Nightbane for a 16 to hit.
Yep.
And that is going to be 7 points of damage.
Okay, very good. Okay, the mother... Oh, wait, sorry, Feralt, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm moving towards the... I'm going to use all my movement to get closer to the owlbears.
Okay.
And then, because I switched it, this is a long rest, and I can switch out my wizard cantrips.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the ones I switched out was Minor Illusion.
Okay.
And so I'm going to make the sound of what I think a dragon's roar sounds like.
Okay.
Just based on basically a much larger animal roaring, coming towards them, and I'm gonna try and scare the owlbears off by doing that.
Okay, so it's basically a big-ass intimidation check, basically. So
Yep.
I'll let you make an intimidation check with advantage, and I'll give you +5.
Okay.
+5.
Okay, so that's 16.
16. All right. Let me make. Okay. The one that's in combat
So basically,
doesn't seem to care, but the ones at the back, the mother and the babies, they start moving back into the stream and trying to cross the stream as quickly as they can. You can see the mother's helping the babies cross the stream, but the father hasn't left. He obviously doesn't care because he's already in combat and already wounded, so he's has to defend his family.
well, if I can scare some of them off, that's like owlbears we're not killing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and that's your turn.
Bonus action call Stolas to me as much of his movement as he can.
Okay, he's on his way. Vespera.
Yep.
You're by Hagelaz and below Rokan.
Yeah, I'm kind of...
Or further up, actually, by Hagelaz. Rokan's up in the tree behind.
I am appalled. So I'm casting Sanctuary on myself as a boner action.
A boner action?
Yeah, as a boner action. Yeah, it's a boner action. Excellent. Excellent. I am going to then just sort of like try and get everyone to stop attacking him, and I'm just going to drop all the good berries in front of this owlbear.
All the good berries in front of the
Yeah.
owlbear. Okay. Okay. Alright, let me just consider that for a moment. The owlbear notices them. That's for sure.
Please eat them. I'm sorry about my friends. Please eat them.
Do you want to make a persuasion check?
Sure.
The Sparacast
I
giggity.
suck at this. I'm going to use my inspiration because I need to. Oh my god. 16.
16. 16. Okay. Alright. Let me see here. The owlbear looks up at you, Vesper, for a moment, and you see him and looks back at Hagelaz, who's just bashed him with a fucking magic axe.
Go away, Hagelaz. I like try and shoo him away with my hands.
All right, Drazan at this point is charging in with his shield, and he just moves in front of you, Vespera, to protect you with his shield, and gets into a protective position and takes the dodge action. The owlbear, at that point, snorts and then tries to disengage.
He doesn't want to eat a berry. Eat the berry.
Well, he bends down and sniffs the berry, but he disengages from the combat at that point. Rokan, what are you doing?
I come down from the tree,
Okay.
and I know you said that animal things don't work, but he makes himself sound like a bear.
Okay. And?
And he, what is it called? He makes like he's trying to be a non-threatening thing,
But a
and
bear.
he's
A
trying,
non-threatening bear.
yeah, a non-threatening bear.
Okay.
And he lowers himself to the ground, so there's no threat. And he's trying to, he moves towards the water, and then he comes back and he looks at the bear and does a bear thing again and moves towards the water.
So you're trying to get it to go to the water, is basically.
Yeah,
the plan. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So you go around the bear, making these bear noises. The owl,
Yep.
should I say? You can make a performance check.
Okay.
So that's an 8.
Yeah. Okay. The owlbear. I'm gonna see what the owlbear thinks about that. The owlbear turns a little bit surprised at your position, and tries to hit you with its beak.
Yeah.
It misses you.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you doing, Rokan?
It swings a claw at you instead, also missing. Oh no! What's your AC, Rokan?
It's a 15.
15. Oh, that's just hits you actually. So it does 15 points of slashing damage as it hits you, Rokan. As you try to go around behind it, it doesn't seem to be able to understand you or what you're getting at.
Okay.
It's not following. But you've taken
Alright.
15 points of slashing damage as it whacks you with a massive claw. Hagelaz, it's your turn.
He, I know what he does. Let Hagelas have his turn.
Yeah. Hagelaz does whatever Hagelaz does.
This does. I am going to bow
Ooh,
lowly.
okay. All right. You can make.
I'm going to put my axe on the ground and bow lowly at it.
Do you want to make a performance check?
I can certainly try. 6.
Fuck me. Okay.
Ooh,
I use my inspiration.
All right. Use your inspiration. And
that is going to be a 5. I got even worse. I got even worse. If anyone wants to give me inspiration, I can try
No, you
again and
already
get
used
lower.
it.
Okay,
not on this
okay.
turn.
I don't think you can use. I don't think you can do it more than once.
Barry,
I've
we'll
got-
come back to you on your turn, mate.
Yeah.
Feralt.
So given that this is an owl bear and Stolas is an owl,
Mm.
I'm going to just ask Stolas as a bonus action to just ask it to leave if he can, and I'm going to go,
So Stolas is
and I'm
go,
going to move closer, and I'm just not going to attack or anything though. I'm not going to act like I'm
Do
attacking.
you want to take the dodge action or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll take the dodge action.
Okay, very good. Vespera.
Wow. Okay. So
Stolas flies in and swoops up to the owlbear and pause. It's your turn.
okay. Everyone, go away.
You're saying
Just
that to your party
leave
members.
them. Yeah, just leave him alone. Stop hurting him.
I
Stop
didn't
doing
do
whatever
anything
you're
to him.
doing, Hagalas. No. Everyone,
Jazan's
back
like,
off.
I'm only here to protect you. I'm not going to hurt anyone.
Go. I will go up to Jazan as my action and turn him around and push him towards the camp.
All right. Very good.
And
yep.
Rokan, stop whatever it is you're doing.
The owlbear takes a hit at Stolas as he goes past.
Stolas wouldn't be in melee range, though. He would be like far enough in the air that the owlbear couldn't reach him. He's not stupid.
Oh, I assumed he had to get closer in order to try and communicate with him.
Well, I assume that Stolas could just like screech at him from a tree branch.
Okay. All right. In which case, the owlbear is going to sadly keep attacking because it's making very shit wisdom checks. So who's the nearest to him right now is still Hagelaz, right?
Yeah, I feel like he would be.
Yeah, okay, so it's going to make 2 attacks, one with its beak, which misses you, and one with its claws. Oh, a natural 20 for 27, and oh my god, a red dragon just jumped out of my screen.
Hang on. It's a natural 20, you said?
Yeah.
Silvery barbs.
Okay, so you're going to make that okay. You've been saving that up. Oh, it's an 18. Okay, still.
Still hits.
It's not a 20.
It's not crit.
You're lucky because this does massive damage with its claws.
And I'm going to give advantage to Vespera because it does also work on ability checks.
Okay, so that's 15 points of damage to Hagelaz, who's not raging, correct?
Cool. Noted.
Okay. I know what I said. Alright, very good. Rokan.
Okay, Rokan. If it looks at him.
It's not. It's dealing with Hagelaz right now.
Okay, he'll wait until it turns around. If it turns around.
It's not going to turn around. It's trying to fight. It's trying to fight Hagelaz. You can move around it. You can try and get its attention. You can make an athletics check to jump on its back and stab it through the back of the head, and you get advantage to hit. And if you fail, you get disadvantage to hit. But anyway, that's another story.
Okay. He'll sit and watch.
Okay. So you just hang back for a minute.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Hagelaz.
I'm going to try and bow again.
Okay. All right. So you go down again and bow. We'll make another persuasion check, please.
Performance check. I got a 3.
Fuck. I guess he thinks
Just
you're
re-roll, I think. Just re-roll a new character.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll a new character now.
Do you have inspiration still, or did anyone give you new inspiration?
No, don't give me new inspiration.
Nothing can save him.
No.
Nothing can save me.
Save you. All right. Fair call. In which case, you know what's coming. Feralt, it's your turn.
Oh, too late.
Oh,
Sorry,
CS
CS.
is too late.
Too late.
No, go on.
It's too late.
You can have your your inspiration. Go on.
You're gonna give that? Oh, cool.
Aw.
Very nice of you. Much better. 16.
16. All right.
Thank you, CS Graham. I very much appreciate it.
Literally our supervisor.
Okay. Feralt, it's your turn.
I'm gonna minor illusion, dragon's roar, a bit close, but sounding like a little bit closer. It's getting closer.
Okay. All right. Can you make a performance check too, please, with advantage, and as I said before, plus 5.
Okay. So 17 plus 5 is 22.
Wow. Okay. All right. At that point, the owlbear snorts, turns, and starts bounding back towards the river, and you can see it limping and bleeding as it does.
Okay. So what? Are we out of initiative?
Could be if you wait for it to leave. Yeah.
Okay. Well, basically, if it's heading off, what I'll do?
It certainly moves. It dashes 60 feet.
Okay. As long as it's within 100 feet of me, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level on it through Stolas.
Wow, okay. Wow. Alright, so let's roll your Cure Wounds.
.24 hit points.
Far out, that is a lot.
God damn!
And Stolas gets flyby, so he can't attack it.
Okay, nice. Alright, so the owlbear runs off back to its family, and they head off back into the river and cross the stream. It is
Am I allowed to
Vespera's
do one
turn.
as well?
Yep, Vesper, it's your turn.
You can't cast Cure Wounds at 100 feet like I can.
Oh, really? Really? You know what I can do though?
Okay.
Healing
you can
word.
You can throw a good word really accurately
good-
through its ear, and it will...
I can do healing
Well-
word.
Yeah, what's the range on that again? I got
It's
Healing Word
60
too,
feet.
and
However,
it's 60 feet.
However, I was told that within it would end at 60 feet. Like initiative would end at 60 feet. So
Who told you that?
that's what
So
you
what, you're
said
gonna dash
before.
after it?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're like 60 feet, and
Yeah.
then yeah.
That's
But
true.
yeah.
Initiative ends at 60 feet. Okay,
No,
I'll
it's
let you
just
do it.
for.
Inspiration
that
for
one
me.
circumstance.
Oh, yeah, I get inspiration.
But yeah, I'm gonna give him some healing words.
DM
So
inspiration. I needed some inspiration after playing with these fuckers, trust me.
We need inspiration after playing with you. Also, some guy called Jojo 9009 and 9908 has
Yeah.
redeemed Guide the Raid
Okay,
to
so
getting dicey.
you're saying you want to guide the raid? Okay.
Once we raid.
Once we raid? Okay.
so that was 13.
13.
Yeah.
All right,
I
so
believe
another
it's
13
included
hit
the
points
healing, all the healing.
for our owlbear friend heal buff. Okay.
Yes.
He's still damaged, but much better. He's no longer bloodied, that's for sure.
I'm gonna pick up some of the good berries that I dropped for him.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in the little sack, and then I'm going to be like, looking at everyone. I am so disappointed in you all, and I'm going to storm past, and I'm going to go to bed angry. Angry.
And I just look around and say, what did I do? I was trying to scare it off without fighting it. I didn't shoot any arrows at it.
Oh. Before that,
Rokan's
though,
gonna cure his wound.
Before that, though, I'm going to spend all my slots on good berry.
Rokan, you don't have any damage, I don't think.
He got me with his claw.
Yeah,
Did he?
got him with his claw.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. This doesn't say that on D&D Beyond right now. It's not giving me
You
that.
need to refresh your page.
Yeah, it should be automatic, actually.
Oh yeah, he had 37 hit points. He's now got 45.
Okay.
Vespera, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Party takes emotional damage.
Yeah, take emotional damage.
Can Haglas make an
I take
intelligence
confusion
check?
damage.
Rokan doesn't care.
Thank you very much. So what would you like to do now? Do you return to your various watches and such like?
I'll go back
Yeah,
to my place of watching.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. The rest of the evening passes without any events, and in the morning, as you wake up, the second sun is rising first on this day, with its mauve hues shining through the trees, casting long shadows into the forest around you. And the first sun rather, begins to rise, bringing an orangey glow to the day, and concealing the stars, although the moons, the gatehouse, the sanctum, and the altar can be seen on the horizon, brightly backlit at this point by the sun. You kind of see these moons in silhouette at this time, almost like eclipses. And so you get up and you get your travel on, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And so that's a long rest then?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so you travel forward through the forest and you spend the day traveling, and somewhere about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, about 4 bells, you make it around the side of the mountain, revealing the city of Dagdagiel in the distance. It's going to be about another 2 hours before you get to the gates. But even from here, you can see the main road that heads to the coastline from the main city, and then the highway that heads up into the continent. And there are many passerbys and wagons, and you see a contingent of wyvern-clad soldiers leaving the city. And they travel past you. Drazan looks at each of you for a moment. That doesn't seem like good news.
It's kind of scary.
Can we see if there's like any smoke or any like from what we can see of Dagdagiel, can we see any like damage or smoke or
No,
that looks uncharacteristic?
nothing uncharacteristic. Nothing uncharacteristic.
Would Hayglass know this? Can I make some sort of check to see if I actually know what I'm talking about or what I can see?
You mean you can?
Because I've never been to Dagdagiel, so I would have no idea.
You can make a perception check.
Harold,
14.
14.
Yes.
What I said.
you know that box that you have?
Aye.
I could potentially get rid of the magic on it.
How can you do that?
Throwing it off a cliff.
And we're going past the.
You're not going to throw into a ravine again, are you?
No, I believe that I can do it. I believe I can disperse the magic.
Okay,
You'd like me
so
to
just
try?
out of game, I'm assuming you're talking about the spell Dispel Magic? Russell, would Dispel Magic work on something like that?
I will take a moment to look that up, because I think there is actually an answer to that question.
Okay. Oh, do you want me to do an... so you do that, and I'll
Yeah,
roll an
Arcana
Arcana check, and you tell me if Ferl knows.
Perfect.
By the way, the next good berries that you have might have owl footprints on them.
I'm sure Rokan won't care.
Don't tell him.
I'm sure he won't he won't care. It's like, if that's all there is, he'll eat it. This is Rokan we're talking about. He doesn't seem that fussy about food, as long as it's there.
That's true. I fear that he can hear us.
Rokan, you don't mind as long as you don't mind as long as there's plenty of food, right?
You know me so well. Me, they'll bear too, you know.
Oh, were you hurt, by the way, from last night? Oh, you look better anyway. It's fine.
We did a long rest, so yeah.
I wish that would happen in real life.
Yeah, same.
That would be nice. Just have a long rest and all our wounds cure. That would be nice.
Oh, by the way, so the +1 shield I've got is a wyvern-clad guard shield, so I would have put that in the bag of holding and taken my old shield out.
And you put my sword in the bag of holding?
Yeah, I'll put your sword in the bag of holding. You can just keep it on your character sheet. We'll just say it's in the bag of holding.
Russell.
And Drazan's already in wyvern-clad guard gear anyway, so it's not going to be as conspicuous him having it.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a question for Drazan.
Yes. Yes.
Russell, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
I'm not talking.
He's not talking.
Okay.
He's not
I
talking.
can see his mouth moving.
Furiously.
Talking to myself, pulling faces because the internet is not answering my question the way I want it to.
Okay.
But
DM's Fiat then.
yes.
So Vespera suddenly turns into Drazan and starts talking? Yes?
To herself, no less.
Check another thing.
I think I know the answer to the question. I like to ask it anyway.
Let's see.
Just check another source now. Sorry to take so long.
It's not good
It's-
enough.
No worries.
It's not good enough.
Okay. All right. So my answer is that. Okay. What did you get for your Arcana? 14. 14. You believe that
Yeah.
the situation is that if you cast it at a level higher than the spell was cast, you could
Yeah.
probably dispel it,
Yeah.
Okay.
but you don't know what.
So basically, I just tell her that I think it has a chance of working.
All right. Do you want me to give it a shot? I've never done this before.
Not here
Oh.
in the middle of a city.
You're not in
We're
the
not in the
city.
middle of the city.
You're 2 hours. 2 hours.
Well,
from the
not
city.
here, gone away to a city.
We can do it inside the wagon where nobody will see it.
Okay.
So is this
Except
wagon?
the
is covered
wagon
then,
might
is it?
blow
I
up.
never got proper details about this wagon.
It's
Is it
not- it's-
covered or not covered? Is it just?
It's
It-
covered.
it's just a covered wagon, you know, made it as tidy as we could.
So are we talking about a high
Relatively
covered
high
wagon?
sides.
Okay.
Like,
Excuse
I think,
me.
like,
3 feet high, 6 feet high. Can you stand up in the back?
I
and still be
imagine that
covered or
it
not?
can fit. I'm imagining something that fits people inside it.
Okay. Can they sit up and be covered? Or do they have
That's
to-
what I'm imagining.
Okay. All right.
Like, I'm imagining, like, you can actually sit up inside it.
Okay, and it's got a full canvas covering of some description.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're going to
So-
do this inside the wagon.
Yes, that's what I'm suggesting.
Right. Okay.
Whatever your name is,
Drazan, sir.
Drazan.
Yes.
Sorry. How do you become a god like that?
Like these men or like myself, sir? To be
Like
fair,
those
it's the
men.
Same process. Well, so those men, they're all members of, they're citizens of Dagdagiel. They're conscripted. You could become a mercenary and work for the Wyvern-clad, but you would not hold the same station, and you would be the first to be sent to battle.
Could you make me one?
I surely could. I surely
Why-
could. I could also offer you an opportunity whereupon I could give you papers that would serve as a certain amount of authority as an agent of the Wyvern-clad.
I don't believe we gave them back last time you gave us those papers.
Well, you still have them.
We
Oh, I
still have
certainly
them.
didn't get rid of mine.
I would have placed the date on those papers. That would have, but depending on what the date was, you may or may not still be covered.
So,
I believe it was 2 or 3 weeks.
why don't you and I do that?
Well,
You
we'd
want to
have
join
go-
them?
I do not
Yes.
have my stamps here with me, but if we can get to my offices at the tower within Dagdagiel, where my keep, then I will have access to all the things required to produce such a document. Or if you wish to use the old documents that I gave you, if they're still valid, perhaps we can update them. I could indeed.
See, I would be official then. Then I could come in and out of the city with no trouble.
Indeed. But the trouble is not the guards, you understand. Getting in and out of the city in and of itself is not the difficult thing. The thing here is to avoid being noticed by the Barakyle envoy. And that means not being seen by hawks, it means not being seen by wizards, and it means not being seen by secret Barakyle agents whom they have gained control of or corrupted that we are not aware of, and that could be anyone.
It might be still a useful tool, though.
Alright.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
So-
in the wagon... Sorry,
Okay.
Pharrell, you had something you were
We
actually
go
saying.
back and.
Okay,
hop into the
I
wagon.
have an idea, but let's just deal with one thing at a time.
Alright. Back in the wagon, Vespera, you have the box with you, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, and what
Well,
are you going to do?
do I? Felt you're here too?
So yeah, I pull the box out of the bag of holding and place it in front of Vespera.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I've never done this before. You sure? Are you sure we should do this?
That never stopped you.
I believe it's worth a try. Better here than in the city.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
Wait till I go hide behind a tree.
I'm going to cast Dispel Magic before
Is Rokan
he
even
gets...
in the wagon? I thought he was on a horse.
Well, I'm taking my horse and me far away from this situation.
All right. Dispel Magic.
Okay. What level is Dispel Magic?
3.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you make an Arcana check, please?
Okay.
Me or Vespera?
Vespera, because she's casting it. Tell you what you can do is give her advantage.
If this is 4, it says make an ability check using your spell casting ability.
Sure.
Okay. So I
But
take
I'm
it. I
giving you
just
advantage because Ferel's helping you.
thank you. I'm gonna need it.
Maybe guide yourself as well.
Guidance, if I can. Okay, 14 plus. So 18. I have to see if there's more to it. Okay, where did they go? Where did all my information go? Okay, spell. Okay, ability check using your spell casting ability. Okay, so that would be plus wisdom. So there'd be an extra 3 attached to that. So 21.
21.
Yes.
Okay. All the etchings on the outside of the box begin to form glowing light and writing, and it all lights up, and that begins to pulse when it powers down, and the lock goes and opens.
So I'm going to just mage hand
Okay.
to open the box.
Inside you see 5 rings placed very carefully inside this box, and there's a couple of spaces where there are other rings would have been. So it's as if it's basically a selection of magical rings.
Okay.
And
Is there a ring of intelligence?
So I'm going
there's a ring
to.
of fuckery.
So basically, we're 2 hours from the city, so I can ritual cast Identify on them one at a time. We're still like halfway to the city.
All right. They are an invisibility ring, a protection ring, a mind shielding ring, a spell storing ring, and a regeneration ring.
What's that last one?
Regeneration. Ring of regeneration.
Okay, let me just look that up because that's the only one I'm not super familiar with.
But you're really lucky that you didn't fail that Arcana check, because that wagon would have just blown up, and you would have taken shitloads of damage.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
No, somebody would have died.
Great times. I'm so relevant.
Oh wow, so regeneration is very rare?
Uh-huh.
What have we got here?
So I think these are magic rings, Vespera.
I nod.
Anybody blow up yet?
No, we're okay. No fiends neither.
Yeah.
Who are we gonna
Can I
give
get some
these
perception checks from anybody that's outside the wagon?
to? I'll make one for Drazan.
All right.
That's natural 20 for a 24.
Okay.
Natural 2 for a 5.
We're inside the wagon, so.
Oh, this
And
is
an
for
11
Drazan.
for
That's for Drazan.
and 11 for Rokan.
An 11 for Rokan, so we got a natural 24. Okay. Oh, no, not a natural 24. What am I saying? A 24.
A natural 20 for a 24.
Wow. You see, Hegel, as a couple of halflings wandering up in your direction following the road. They're not too far away, maybe 60 feet. They just sort of come around the bend through the trees as the road winds around through some forest and back out into the plain. They've been out of sight for a few minutes, and they've just stepped out, sort of not far away from where you are, and they're heading towards your direction. They're just walking along.
Hello.
One of them waves to you quite happily.
Cool. We're still riding along.
Okay. Well, you're riding. I think you're stopped, aren't you?
Oh, we stopped? Well, we're stopped. Cool. Okay.
Did you stop to do this, or you just continued driving your wagon while you were casting these spells?
Continued, probably.
Oh, okay, you continued. Okay, very
We
good.
weren't driving.
Who's driving?
Haglas is driving.
Haglas. So you
God
could have
damn.
killed Haglas too. Okay, cool. Let's continue. Okay. Excellent. All right, so these two halflings come wandering up to you. Greetings, travellers.
Hello.
I'm Hillfoot. This is my sister. And she nods.
Haglas.
Nice to meet you, Haglas. Are you heading to the city, obviously? You have wares to sell.
Can I make an intelligence check to see if I remember that we're selling wares?
You don't need to make an intelligence check for everything. You're not an idiot. You just have -1 in intelligence.
My character would like to disagree with you on that.
Okay, maybe the player
agree.
is an idiot, but
The player isn't, but
Okay.
my character, and we're in character at the moment, is not smart.
all right, go on then. If it makes you happy.
Yes, I got a natural
Oh my
dirty
God.
one.
A dirty one. A flaccid one.
A flaccid one.
Durr.
So you don't.
Durr.
You just were not paying attention to the storyline as to what you were doing here and what the made up
Reason was I'm
Reason was.
just going along for the ride.
Okay.
Mm.
Are you
I
alright
have
there?
been
So basically, I'm going to say that I heard Ferlt heard something outside,
Yeah. Sure.
grabbed one of the rings, and
Okay.
put the box back in the bag of holding, came out and just said, hearing what's going on, I just say to them,
Which ring do you grab, by the way?
hey, we hired him for the muscle, but he's not overly bright.
Oh no, that's quite alright. You don't need to say that about him. The poor fellow. I mean, he's obviously having a.
Oh, he's very good in a fight, just not much for anything else.
He's so tall.
Savage.
I know what you mean.
Savage.
He's like gotta be the size. He's gotta be as tall as both of you combined.
Oh, I'd say at least 3 times as tall as either of us. I mean, you do possibly 3 of us on top of each other. Might be even up to his neck, perhaps. But oh my goodness, you're a tall fella.
I am.
I see. Well, I hope you're having a good day then. And they begin to continue past you. And they go on. Very well.
Duh.
Starts riding the horse, the carriage again, the wagon.
Very good. Okay, so you continue on. Excellent. Well, you're heading towards the city. Do you make any other stops before you get there? It is, by the way, about 5 bells now.
We probably will make a stop before we get there, just so we make sure that we have everything sorted. But also, Feralt, the spirit is very much like, what are we doing with these? Who are we giving them to?
You can just hear the 5 bells ringing from the city in the far distance.
Okay,
I
sorry. Could
trust
you just
to hand them out.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, Russell. Could you tell me what the rings were again? I've got spell storing, invisibility, and regeneration. I think there were some others.
Invisibility, protection, mind shielding. So invisibility, protection, mind shielding, storing, and regeneration.
Oh, I wouldn't mind mind shielding.
Okay. Well.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah. So I've
shielding.
So I've
I
got.
hate that.
Yeah. So. I'd like to take the invisibility ring.
Farrell, can I get you to make one more investigation check for me?
I feel like that should go to Rokon.
Natural 20.
You realize something very important, and that is that all of these rings appear to be of elven origin.
Interesting. Very interesting. So, if I'm going to infer anything, I'd have to wonder if they stole these from the Black Guard. But I'm just speculating.
That you are.
So I just mentioned it to Drazan that these rings in the box. So the box itself doesn't look elven, does it?
No, the box looks like it's been constructed.
Okay. These rings, they all look elven.
Does that mean anything? Is that a bad thing? Good thing?
It might be. It might cause problems if we were seen with them.
Oh, well, let's just not be seen with them, but use them.
Okay.
Shiny shinies.
Okay. So, right. So just out of game, I would, if nobody has any objections, I'd like the Ring of Invisibility. Rokan has a +9 to stealth. I don't think he really needs it.
That's true.
I think Rokan would be better off with a
He's
Ring
so
of Protection.
sloppy. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, Rokan, would you like to weigh in? Well, Barry?
Sound good to me. What Ring of Protection do?
It makes you harder to hit by enemies.
Oh, that sound good. Yep.
I have one.
So out of
Trouble
game-
though.
out of game
How
breaks
fit
you
on?
with us, but-
How fit on finger?
It'll adjust to your size when you attune to it.
Ah. Okay. That one I take.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. I've added that and I'm attuning him to it.
Okay.
Okay. I would also suggest that Hagalaz might be good with the Ring of Regeneration because you got the highest HP and the lowest AC of the tanks. But that's
I agree.
I leave it up to the group.
I agree with this.
Okay. And that just leaves the last ring of spell storing.
We should give to Drazan
So-
because we were going to anyway, right?
We already gave him
Oh,
one.
that's right, we did.
So that means I think either I'm using all my attunement slots right now. And I've already got a ring of spell storing. I don't really need two.
What about Rokan?
Rokan's got the ring of
I was thinking Rokan
protection.
or Vespera. Well, he's got. How many of his attunement slots is he using?
He's using 2.
Okay, so he could take the ring of spell storing. Then, when he has, that'd be perfect for him because he can just load it up with Hunter's Mark and Zephyr Strike.
That's true.
Wow.
Give you an
And plus
extra-
whatever spells are in there.
Thunder's Mark and Zephyr Strike sound good to him.
Okay, so you got
Yeah,
you
like,
got two blingy
it'll
rings.
hold- It'll hold 5 castings of it, so it's basically it just means if we have downtime, you can just load them up each day.
Okay.
Basically,
Sounds-
you just need a long rest, really, don't you? I mean, how many? Well, 5. How many spell slots does he have? He actually does have enough spell slots to load up 5 spells. So with a long rest, he could easily fill it up.
Yeah, it has to be
Okay, I
5 first level slots though, because it only holds 5 levels worth of spells.
But he could cast second level. He could use second level slots to cast first level spells, because you're allowed to do that. And then he could take a long rest and get them back. So.
Okay, yeah. DM's ruling, but so that would actually be really good. And the other thing is, it means that we can load up spells for him that he can't cast.
Yeah.
And the only person in the group who can't really use one is Hagalaz because raging means you can't cast or concentrate.
Right.
So I mean, for example, we could load up. We could give Rokan absorb elements.
And I
Because
assume
we
it
can
takes
cast
an-
it.
Takes an action to use a spell from the spell storing ring. I
Yeah, so
assume?
basically, when you use the spell from the spell storing ring, it takes the same as when it's cast. So if you ritual cast it into the ring, you have to ritual cast it out of it.
Right.
If you cast it in as an action or so basically, if I put in, you have to use the spell normally. So if it's a bonus action spell, use it as a bonus action, reaction, action, etc.
Right. Makes sense.
If it's a 1 minute spell or a 1 hour spell, again, you have to cast it normally.
Okay. And
It doesn't make a 1 hour spell into a 1 action spell.
Right, but he would be able to cast a concentration spell, and then he would have to make concentration checks, right?
Right. But it also means that it would take his so he still has the concentration, but it doesn't have to be a spell he knows.
Right. Which
So,
is
for
pretty
example,
fucking awesome. Invisibility or any spell. Well, you can't.
Yeah, I
cast
don't have invisibility yet, but I've got Misty Step.
Right. Right.
I could give Rokan Misty Step. That would be great for him, even though his bonus actions are pretty full, but being able to teleport 30 feet.
And you can
like-
change this on a daily basis, which is great,
Exactly.
you know.
So I think that actually this is great, and if all of us have spell storing rings, we can trade spells around
That's
and give ourselves a lot more flexibility.
That's terrifying. What have I done?
It's so funny.
Yeah.
That's all right. I almost TPK'd you last week, so here's your reward.
Yeah. So basically, it's like I think what we should do later is everyone just posts we post our spell lists, and the others, like if we've all got rings of spell storing, you can say, oh, can I get this one from you later?
Well, out of game, I would like to see that the characters themselves are prepared to share their spell list, rather than forcing them to.
Yeah. Okay. I'm making this as a suggestion, not an order.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't consider myself a leader.
All right.
I'm just I'm the strategist. I'm not the guy making decisions.
All right.
All I do is I suggest things.
Cool bananas. So what do you want to do right now then?
So in the end, I will pick up the ring of mind shielding.
Okay.
Yep.
But at the same time, a part of me is like, I should give this to Juzan. Maybe.
Well-
I know I've read through this. It's amazing. If you die, your soul goes in the ring. And then you become one of those talking magical items.
Oh, hang on.
I will say that this ring of mind shielding, it does not look like the really poxy picture in 5e that has a kind of a dumb brain pattern on it. Personally don't like it. It's just my own aesthetic choice. It's a very plain ring, but it is a
so does identify tell me if there's a soul in the ring? It doesn't say.
There is no soul in the ring.
Okay, cool.
Should I use this?
Well, you can decide now, or you can decide later. In any
Yes,
case,
I
Well, we
think-
can always hand it over to him later.
you're still traveling, right? You're still moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say you're like an hour away from Dagdagiel now, and there's a crossroads where the main highway meets the road to the port. And at this crossroads, the traffic has picked up considerably. There are many wagons now coming back and forth from the port up to Dagdagiel along the side and the banks of a large canal that has been dug over many hundreds of years from the sea. It's about 20 miles long to the sea. You see more soldiers go past.
Right, well, when we get to like quite close up, maybe like half an hour or something,
Yeah.
I think that's when we should start talking about what we're gonna do.
All right. Bearing in mind that there's lots of people around you now.
But we should have done it earlier. Oh well. I think this bear's gonna hop in the back, and then she's gonna turn into an animal.
You will notice that there are a number of groups of people who have parked up on different sides of the road at different places to take breaks and what have you. You'll also see that periodically there are cages hanging from big wooden posts with prisoners in them, and at various places too. It's pretty common punishment around here.
Would Vespera have seen a sled dog?
I don't think she's seen a sled dog.
Dang. Not even here?
You just walked out of a desert.
Yep, but I mean, I have traveled quite a long distance.
From a volcano.
Not from a volcano, from a swamp.
From a swamp.
No, we've
I-
just travelled from a volcano.
I'm not sure.
The Goliath may have seen a sled dog before now.
That's more true.
Okay.
Vespera, you can make a nature check. Tell you what.
All right.
DC 50.
Nature
sled
check,
dog.
let's go. 10.
Yeah, sorry.
Ah, well.
Well.
That's fine.
I'm sure you've seen like hunting dogs.
Yeah, but they're
Hunting dogs.
not as good
wolves,
as the other one.
Foxes. You know what else? Mastiffs.
Yeah.
Dobermans.
If I can turn into a dog using the mastiffs
Stat block. Yeah.
stat block, that'd be cool. Because I wouldn't mind turning into a different dog,
Yeah, you can use the
one
Mastiff.
without all the jowls.
Sure,
Yeah.
no, that's fine. Just the Mastiff is like the main doggy stat block that I've found in DnD5e so far. I don't see a lot of other stat blocks for doggies.
Okay, well,
so just use the Mastiff stat block.
a dog that I would have seen along my journey while in Dagdagiel, one that's pretty fluffy and cute,
Cute, fluffy, how big?
like medium size.
Okay, so like a
Yeah.
Labrador type size dog,
Yeah.
or a Shepherd, German Shepherd type.
Is there a German Shepherd? I love
Yeah,
German Shepherds.
We can have Dagian Shepherds.
Okay,
What about like a Great Dane?
Feasible.
I'm not turning into that.
A Dalmatian?
A Chihuahua.
But whatever I end up being, it will have like, it will probably have the same sort of bright eyes that
Graham's
Vespera
got the best
does.
idea.
Yeah.
I like Graham.
And
Mm.
she's gonna like sit on top of on top of all the carts,
Okay, so she's
as long as she doesn't fall through.
right, because it is canvas, right?
Yeah, but it's also on top of like packages, etc. Surely.
Okay.
Or
Alright,
I'll sit on the driver's seat. I'll sit on the driver's seat.
that seems like
Okay.
a smart idea. You can see
There
a
you
lot
go.
more from there, and yeah, that's cool. All right, cool.
Is Drazan here?
Drazan is there.
Okay. Well, Drazan will realize there's a random dog sitting right next to him, just panting.
He looks around at you and he says, "That's Vespera, isn't it?"
I.
Hmm.
So I'll be coming out of the back now, and I'll have used disguise self to just change my appearance.
Okay.
Something nondescript.
All right. Do the others know that you've done this, or are you just going to?
I would have told them that I was going to do this.
Okay.
Like this was part of the plan.
Okay. Excellent. So, any other preparations you want to make before you get to the gates?
Well,
Rock on Hagelas, what are you just gonna hide?
They don't know Hagelas.
they don't know me. I'm just a traveler from far north.
He's just some hired muscle for our merchant's wagon.
Ruff.
I pet the dog on the head
Okay.
gently. I
Yeah,
pat
but
it
your
on the
version
head.
of gently is probably
Gently.
not very gentle.
No, it's not.
I will
Drazan-
like scooch up to like Drazan.
Drazan pulls his hood up over his face as far as he can, puts his head down. He says, Hagelaz, are you going to continue driving the wagon for now?
Sure.
Excellent. Okay. So you continue up to the city gates then? Any last checks? Final
Are you
checks?
hiding, Rokan?
You not see my mercenary disguise?
Okay, so
That's true, I suppose. Yeah. Okay.
So
Are they
Drazan
sort of
turns
like-
to you, he says, so our story is that I have negotiated a contract with you from the Morg Van Chu, and you are working for me as under the guise of the wyvern clad, but we do not wish to reveal that if we do not have to. Yes?
That is good story.
Excellent. So I believe I can get us through the gates if all goes wrong, but that will cause ripples.
Let's keep that as a last resort.
Yes. Very well. All right, so you head up across the bridge to the main gate into to the front of the sally port, and presently these two huge gates are open into this large sally port where people are being checked and searched in some places. There's a couple of rows of people being processed by guards. Inside this sally port, it's basically a courtyard with walls overlooking you from all sides, and guard towers and archers on those towers, and there's guards on the ground with pikes nearby as well. You can see a couple of officers walking around with plumed helmets and blue cloaks thrown over their shoulder with the emblems of Dagdagiel and their service medals and what have you, and their wyvern-clad armor. Most of it, of course, being fake wyvern-clad armor, but once in a while you see an actual wyvern-clad guard wearing something that's significantly more real wyvern-clad armor, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
And thusly, you are stopped by some guards as you move through. And as you're about to get stopped by these guards, Drazan turns to you all. Who's going to do the talking here? I want to avoid it if I can.
Zero puts her paw up.
Drazan puts your leg down on the floor.
It's like,
He goes,
perhaps I should do it.
sit.
Does he cast command?
Yeah. He does not.
None of us have that in our spell list, as far as I know.
He makes an animal
Yeah.
handling check to make.
So basically, when he says that, I just smirk.
I
But I
believe
just want to
can.
say that I just want to add that I've changed my face,
Mhm.
but not the rest of my gear, and I've got like my sword up and my hand crossbow out, and I've got my old shield on my back, and I'm looking a lot like a mercenary.
Okay. Perhaps a performance check from you. I'll give you advantage
Okay.
because you've spent quite a lot of time working on it.
You probably don't want Haglaz talking.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll just do the performance check. Rolling with advantage. Please be good. That is a 15 for performance.
Excellent. Okay, so that looks pretty consistent. The guard that comes forward to speak to you is a woman, and she's holding her helmet under her arm as she approaches you. She says, "Which one of you is the leader here?" Drazan looks at you for
I guess that would be me.
Very good.
And just
Excellent. Would you state your business? Where are you coming from? What are you selling? What are you trading? Why are you here?
we've been traveling through some of the smaller settlements to the north. We picked up bits and pieces. We came across an old fort that somebody had cleared out. I think they said something about ogres in there, and we were able to get a good deal on a lot of the things that were now without owners, and we've come to the city to offload them.
I see. He looks you up and down and he walks over to Hagelaz. You. Tell me, is that what happened?
Yes.
I'm going to make an insight check on Hagelaz. Hagelaz, can you make a deception check?
Certainly, I can make a deception check. For a 6.
Okay,
To be fair, I have avoided lying as much as possible with what I said.
yeah, I noticed that. I see. He turns over to Rokan. You are wearing the uniform of the Morg Van Chu.
Barry, mute.
Correct.
And are you from Dagdagiel? Have you been stationed here? She asked.
I have come here on this gentleman's request.
And you look to Drazan, do you?
Yeah.
She turns to Drazan. Drazan just puts his head down.
It's a job.
And then I lick his face.
You lick Drazan's face.
Yeah.
How long have you been waiting to do that?
Oh, I don't know, like 20-something sessions.
20 She's just
No,
yeah. Okay.
the spirit did it to try and appeal to the woman to make him seem more of less of a threat.
Less of a threat. Okay.
Yeah.
The officer turns to one of her soldiers and she nods to him, and he steps forward and walks around the wagon. He says, "What are we looking for, ma'am?" She says, "They said they're selling weapons that they found." He looks inside the back of the wagon. Who's in the back of the wagon? Is anybody in the back of the wagon at this point?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be weapons. They look a bit rusty and broken, and some of them are a bit smashed up. I'm not sure about all of them, but seems like a likely story. These probably be worth a bit, to be honest, right now. And she nods. She says, "Yes, you seem to have come at a good time. We are, in fact, in need of store and weapons." "Very well. I shall let you pass, but I do need to take your names, please." And she calls forth this young scholar comes over with parchment and ink. "If I may have your names, please." She turns to you, Feralt. "You speak for them. I'll take your names."
My name is Maverick.
She looks at you. "Really? Unlikely. Maverick. Your mother call you that?"
I don't think she calls me anything these days. She's been dead for 20 years.
"And where are you from originally, Maverick?"
I've been a bit of everywhere, but originally I lived on a farm up near the Banakaya.
"I see. So a long way then. And your
I've
French?
traveled a lot.
Write it down, Maverick." He writes the name down. "Next, you." Drazan looks over and he just says quietly under his breath, "Drazan." "I didn't quite hear that." "Drazan," he says. "I'm going to make a performance check for him." She looks at him again. "You seem familiar." "No, ma'am, not familiar." "Who are these others?" Feralt said as she turns to Feralt. Points at the Goliath. "You got a name?"
He's Hagelaz. We found him on the way. Not very bright, but he's good in a fight.
"You fight a lot, do you?"
Hey, Glass
We've been set upon a few times during the journey. Some sort of weird, strange, dog-like creatures. I think they might be called gnolls. Attacked us a few times in the wastelands.
"In the wastelands? What were you doing in the wastelands? That is a long way and somewhat out of your way. You said you came from the northern settlements. The wastelands are to the south."
Sorry, Berth isn't an idiot. I'm just personally
That's fine.
not. Yeah. So it's like I just
all
don't
very-
really know the geography. Feralt would,
That's
so he
fair.
wouldn't screw up like that.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry.
No, that's fair.
Okay, so I would have said the direction we came from.
Okay. Very good. And the orc, you took contract with this one here. You do seem familiar.
Yes.
She goes back
Nah.
over to Drazan and pulls his hood back, and he looks at her.
Oh, I think at that point, Bess would try and push her out of the way, being a protective
Just
dog.
kind of like growl at her a bit.
Mm.
She's
Arr.
gonna make an intimidation check, please.
Intimidation doggy check. I keep my. Do I keep these stats as a
You use
doggo?
the dog stats.
The charisma.
No. All doggy stats.
Okay, yeah. It's not all doggy stats, I don't think. I'm gonna just roll a d20, okay? I don't know what it is.
I doubt it's got any charisma bonus.
Oh my god. Well, 18.
Holy crap. Okay. She steps back immediately. All right, very well, pass on. And thusly you are allowed past. And the wagon rolls through the gates into the city of Dagdagiel. And this is probably a good place to put it to rest for this evening.
Yeah, we did it. We did it, guys. We made it back home.
Into the city. Yay!
We got through.
So the raiding party that we were going to raid is currently offline.
Ah.
Since I'm now an editor, I can also do the raid command.
I would prefer that you don't.
That's all good. Yep.
He can. He just shouldn't.
Just shouldn't, exactly.
The reason is essentially because I've talked to some of these people and want to raid specific people at times. But as it happens, none of the people that I know are online, so go for your life. Raid.
Cool. Okay. Let's just make sure that they're still online. Okay, yeah, cool. So we're gonna go raid Captain Robert.
Okay. Bananas.
I can't believe all it took was to be a doggo.
So
That's what got us in.
5, 4, bye everyone.
Goodbye.
We'll see you
Bye.
later. Adios. Thank you for
Bye,
coming.
goodbye.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Click the like button and subscribe.
Bye.
Subscribe.
And all that other stuff.
I can hear
None of that
myself.
stuff.
Yeah.
Hello?
And
We are out.
Hello.
Hello. Hey.
Okay.